Oh shit. It's time for another stream. How you doing today, Major?
Hey man, I'm all good, my bro. Highly blessed, highly favored. You know how it goes, man. But yeah, what you telling me, bro?
Nah, man, that's the things that we love to hear, man. Because yeah. And same man. A long week, but you know what? That's why I told people hit their like just because it's Friday, man. Because honestly, just making it to the end of the week, you have to just be grateful because boy, life, man, it can be very long, but we understand we're grateful that we made it to another week. We get to have another great stream. We get to talk about football. So yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to this one, man. But how you doing, my guy?
Hey man, I think working man. I think this stage of the year, fourth quarter, there's so many things that you're trying to do, so many things that you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, it can get really busy. But yeah, man, always grateful and yeah, man, looking forward to the stream. So can't complain.
Yeah, man. I feel like this is real deadline part of the year, bro. Everything that starts, the deliverables need to be put in, questions start getting asked. So all of that, man. Fixtures start piling in, all of that. So we're gonna get into all of that today, man. Today we're gonna, I thought we'd start with just a little kind of, I guess, the key kind of fixtures from the Champions League that maybe stand out to you, and then we'll get into again, man. And I have a question for you on the champs as well, because this weekend, there's a lot of big games, but I don't know why I feel like every week now, machine for machine, it feels like there's always a big game. Unfortunately for me, it feels like my team is always involved in these big games, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. So yeah, it should be a good stream, man. And yeah, everyone who's joining, who's going to join later, please don't forget to leave a like. It helps us with the algorithm, helps us grow, so if you are enjoying these streams, then yeah, please do that. And yeah, give us feedback as well, man. I feel like we're at that stage now too where anything that you think we could do to improve, please let us know. But yeah, bro. But yes, I guess kind of getting into it, I feel like maybe a good place to start before we kind of go into the Premier League fixtures this weekend. I feel like sometimes too, man, we're too focused on the English clubs, So I think the picture that stood out to me the most, man, was Milan versus Madrid, bro. Because what's so crazy about that is, with this Mbappe situation, bro, we've been saying it before he even joined the club that how are they going to make this work? And I feel like the answer I always heard back was Ancelotti. He will find a way. If he can if anyone can do it, he will do it. But right now, he's not doing it, man. And things need to change because their form right now, even in that champs, if you look at them in the table, it's not looking pretty right now, man. They're not looking like the team that's been running away with it every single year. So I don't know. That was, I think, the kind of highlight fixture for me. I don't know if you managed to catch any of that game.
Yeah, I think with Madrid, obviously, there's obviously problems. They've not started the season very well. And I think positionally, Ancelotti's got a lot of things to figure out. We knew before he went to Madrid that Mbappe's best position is off that left. And obviously, it's really interesting because you've got Vinny there who has delivered for them consistently. And we all know that Mbappe as a 9 isn't where you want. It's not where you want to see him. Mbappe as a 9 isn't Mbappe off the left. But also, I think there's a lot of wider conversations as well, because there's also Bellingham there. And yeah, there's conversations regarding him and getting the best out of him. And then there's conversations regarding Rodrigo as well, because sometimes Rodrigo, he can be the one left out of a lot of these discussions. And he's also someone who's performed. And then beyond that, you've got Arda Güler, who's on the bench.
They're wasting that talent.
Yeah, man. We've seen
what I saw in that Euros, bro.
Yeah,
what I saw in that Euros, these lot are wasting that talent.
We've seen how talented he is. So Real Madrid, they've got, and we haven't even spoken about Endrick, and yeah, man, they've got things to figure out. And I think Mbappe, again, there's been a lot of scrutiny, and I think obviously sometimes people can go too far one way. Sometimes I've seen people talk about Mbappe like he's just he's some any guy.
Like a bum.
Yeah, he's some any guy. Bum. They're talking about Mbappe like that. However, and I think we made reference to this not that long ago, there are serious conversations regarding whether Mbappe peaked early. And we know what Mbappe was capable of when he was younger. We saw what he did in that 2018 World Cup. I said it before. A lot of the time people talk about the 2022 World Cup, but in that 2018 World Cup, he was great. And then obviously we saw what he did for that Monaco side. And we saw what he was doing when he was like in his late teens, early 20s. And I think now that excitement, that flair, like, you know, those performances that are getting people off their seats, we're not really seeing. We're not. Yeah. And I think there's multiple problems for Mbappe right now, because I think even if, so let me separate it into two. I think there's a Real Madrid problem, and then there's Mbappe problem. So with the Real Madrid problem, obviously Mbappe, we know that his best position isn't playing as a 9. But let's say Real Madrid can just figure it out. Let's say they can figure it out where they get the rotations right and they're able to function. And if there's any club that know how to just get things over the line, it's Real Madrid. Like, we've seen what they've done in the Champions League. When they've won Champions Leagues in the past, in recent history, they've not necessarily been the best team in the tournament. Like, they know how to just get the job done. So let's say Real Madrid are capable of doing that, and they're successful and they're able to win trophies, etc. Then cool. That's the Real Madrid bit sorted. But then I think you've got the Mbappe bit, which is so even with that success, when we were looking at Mbappe when we were younger, we were thinking, oh, what heights is he going to reach? Like, what legacy is he going to leave behind? And I think currently, Mbappe just scoring goals isn't going to be enough to, like, avoid the conversations regarding whether he's on a downward trajectory. Like, yeah, when we're looking at Mbappe, the reason why a lot of people were praising Mbappe wasn't because he was just scoring goals. Like, it was the other things that he was bringing to his game. So I think there's going to be further conversations. And then obviously there's a consistent conversation with that Real Madrid team regarding, you know, like Vinny, Mbappe, like who, like, and
Bellingham.
Bellingham, like, do you get me? Like, so it's like, can basically everyone needs to eat. Like, do you get it? Like, yeah.
But bro, this is the problem though, when you're stockpiling talent, man. I feel like Madrid have done this where they go and get all the best players, and then now it's like, now you have all the best players. How do you now make a functioning team that can win games?
You know what part of the problem is as well, bro? It's not even just with the stockpiling. It's that sometimes as well, you need like a clear, undisputed number one guy. Like, so if we look at previous Madrid teams, there was Ronaldo, there was Bale, there was Benzema, but it was clear Ronaldo's the number one guy. He's the number one guy. There's loads of great players here, but he is the number one guy. When we looked at that Barcelona team with Messi, Suarez, Neymar, they were all eating, but Messi is the number one guy. This is Messi's team. He's the number one guy. And I think sometimes that hierarchy, it helps. Like, just knowing that, all right, cool, this is the number one guy. And I think Mbappe, he's been used to being the number one guy. And then obviously, you know, we saw PSG happened, and then Messi came over, and then it was like, oh, okay, how are we gonna make this work, and etc. Then obviously he goes to Madrid now, and then there's Vinny, and then it's like, okay, how are we going to make this work, kind of a thing. And I don't think it's necessarily just the thing of like, oh, the players don't like each other or anything like that. I think it's just like systematically, sometimes it's just easier to play when other players know who they're going to defer to in certain situations. So a lot has been said regarding Benzema and how unselfish, Benzema was when Ronaldo was playing. Like, do you get me? Like, whereas like he was prepared to do a lot of the leg work, to drift onto the flanks, to be a creator. And it was just like, you know what? This is Ronaldo's team. He's going to score the majority of the goals. I'm prepared to do that. Ronaldo left. Benzema became the number one guy. But people forget that in that Ballon d'Or season, where Benzema became the number one guy, Vinny was also great as well. But Vinny was the number two. He was brilliant, but he knew he was the number two. He was like, Benzema's the number one, I'm the number two. And, bro, they were flowing with each other brilliantly. And this was a guy that Benzema was saying was playing against us. Do you get me? And now they're flowing with each other. Everything's going great. But I think, it was kind of established. The roles of the team were established. And I think what Real Madrid need to now figure out is who is doing what? Who has this role in the team? And it's not a thing where it's like, oh, you know what? One player has to give up everything for another player. Again, we saw Suarez in the era of Ronaldo and Messi win the Golden Boot. Like, everyone can eat if order is established and people know what they're doing. Like, we saw Neymar brilliant. We saw Suarez play brilliant. We saw Messi play brilliant. Like, it can happen. Like, but there needs to be an order. Like, so I think now currently, there's a lot to figure out, because I think there's one question regarding Real Madrid being successful, and that could happen. But then there's also individual legacy.
No, I think that's a very good point.
Separate conversation. Yeah,
I think that's a very good. You know what? I think he's probably suffering right now from like the wider issue in football. I think we've kind of alluded to it in the past too, where I feel like obviously Haaland is Haaland. He's a freak as a striker, but I feel like a lot of the main players in the world right now aren't really strikers. They tend to be the inside forwards or the wingers that are coming in and getting those goals. And that's what we saw in Mbappe at his absolute best when he was playing with a Giroud or with a Griezmann. And he's off the wing, he's exciting, he's cooking the fullbacks, he's cutting in, he's scoring from crazy angles. But when he's up front, man, you can just tell that he don't love it, man. You look at something like, I know you don't love it, because you don't play this position with any conviction at all. So it's really sad to see right now. And I don't know how they're going to make it work, because ultimately, I think the harsh reality when you look in the light is that he's just not a striker. And then it's like, if he's just not a striker, Vinicius is the left winger. So what are you going to do to make that work? One of my friends, he said something that I always used to push back on it, because I was like, this is crazy. Do you see any world where Mbappe has to maybe go to the right wing? Do you see that being a possibility?
I don't know if he will want to do that.
Yeah. I don't think so either, man.
I don't think so either. If he'll want to do that. Yeah, I don't know if he'll want to do that. But you know what, though? And this is a question for you. Because these problems, we already knew what they were prior to him signing. Like, we knew what his best position was. We knew what Vinny's best position was. And a lot of discussion has been even been had regarding Rodrigo, who he's been sacrificing, but his best position is the left wing as well. So it's like you've got 3 left wingers and 1 spot. So my question to you is, and this is a crazy question, because a lot of people would have looked at it and thought, what on earth do you mean?
Okay, but I'm listening.
Do you think that the signing of Mbappe was necessary from Real Madrid? Like, do you think it's something they needed to do? Or do you think it was partially like an ego signing? Like, was it? Because obviously, Real Madrid, they had just come off of winning the league and the Champions League. Like, and their system was working. So do you think that signing was actually necessary? Or do you think it's you know what? It's Mbappe. Because it's Mbappe, when you have an opportunity like that, you take it and then you figure out the rest later.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question, man. And I'm leaning, even as bad as it's been so far, I'm still leaning to the fact that I think it's Mbappe. And you have to take the opportunity. Is it? Because it's easy. I feel like for so many guys, man.
No, I'm just saying. It's funny, because the chat, They've swung the other way.
Bro.
When they said signing Mbappe was pure gluttony. They said it was a sin. It was a sin. Unorthodox Change says ego signing. How greedy. How greedy.
No, I hear it.
Continue,
I hear
bro.
it.
Continue.
No, I hear it. And I completely, it definitely is. It was a very greedy signing. But because it's Mbappe, and because of who he is and how long Madrid were chasing him, there's literally nowhere else in the world he was realistically actually going to go to. So it's one of them ones where it's like, nah, he was never going to Arsenal. This guy's on like $1 million a week, bro. That'll break our wage budget, bro. We can't afford Mbappe.
You don't want Martinelli to move that much, bro. Is that man?
Listen, I know what I can afford, bro. I know my pockets can hold, and that will put us into severe debt. That will break FFP if we try to do that, bro. Because he's above our wage budget. So I think because of just how long Madrid were chasing him, there was a whole saga with PSG and understand Madrid have come in so many times with him that it was like inevitable that he was going to eventually end up there. But I think the problem here is just it's kind of like I was alluding to in the last stream, where it's just sometimes with footballers and like looking at what your best assets are and then looking at the team and does it actually match up. And unfortunately for Mbappe, as great as a player as he is, because of Vinicius, it doesn't match up because it's almost like one of them has to be sacrificed for the other one to be great. And that's never really going, like someone is always going to lose out in that battle. I feel like that's like one of the biggest issues with that signing. So it's definitely very greedy from a point of view of like from a tactical, like actually putting together a functioning attack that works and it flows. It don't make sense from that point of view. But I think from the point of view that it's Mbappe and he's not going anywhere else. We were looking at this guy a couple years ago, bro, saying that when Messi and Ronaldo finally go, this is the guy that's taking the baton. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy that's going to be the next best player in the world. So Madrid are never going to miss out on a player like that. But I think, unfortunately, the player that was looking like was going to be the next best player in the world was the player that was playing on the left wing, which is where Vinicius is playing. And that's the massive issue here. So, man, I thought that was just an interesting discussion because I'm seeing like the narrative on his name right now it's not glowing, man. I'm seeing even the fans are saying he's always offside. Like,
the offside. That game was ridiculous, though. That game was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Mbappe, he needed to do better. That was actually silly. Like, you can't be. It was silly. It was actually silly, especially with someone with your pace. Someone with your pace, bro. Bro. Come on, man. That was bad. I think also, bro. Just to quickly add something, but I think that's again what you just said with the whole discussion regarding like Mbappe and we were expecting him to be next up, and obviously I've already said it, like his international legacy, even if he was to retire today, bro, he's done more than most people. Like, do you get me? So it's like, but I think obviously he had the PSG years, and I understand it, like it's your country. Like obviously, if you were able to get that over the line with the Champions League, then things will look quite different, like as regards to like your legacy. But I think now there's a lot of pressure because Mbappe has signed for Madrid, like I said, after they've just won the league and the Champions League. And I remember us talking about that, doing these things.
I actually remember us talking about that before he won. And it was like, would he have, obviously, again, we don't know what he's thinking. Would he have been thinking, this is a bit long? Like, he would have probably preferred them not winning that chance.
It does add an extra level of pressure because even like, again, not to do this, what do you call it? Basketballification.
Oh, basketballification,
But I remember, like, so when Golden State won the NBA championship in 2016, Kevin Durant came the next year. When they lost the NBA championship in 2016, to the Cavs, Kevin Durant came the next year. And obviously, a lot of people were very critical of the move. But a lot of people also think that if Golden State had won, he wouldn't have been able to go there because it would have just been like they were critical of him going there, even though they lost because they were 73-9 in the regular season. And they were like, you know what? You're going basically to a team which is already stacked. And now you're just making them overpowered. But if they had won, then I think it would have been even harder because like for him to go to a team that have just won and they're 73-9. But because they lost, there was also kind of a narrative of, oh, you know what? LeBron beat them. Like, now he can come and he can help them overcome the LeBron. That's like the narrative. Like, and I think, yeah, with Mbappe and Real Madrid, if Real Madrid had lost, then I think, yeah, like, I'm not gonna say he wanted it to happen. I'm not Mbappe, do you get me? But I think them winning does add more pressure because Bellingham was firing, Vinny was firing, everything was looking good. And again, you've joined Real Madrid at a time where they have been recently successful. It's not like, for example, when Ronaldo joined Real Madrid, when Real Madrid were getting knocked out of the round of 16, like, do you get me, continuously? And do you remember how long that Real Madrid were chasing the La Decima? Like, it was a massive thing. Like, we need to get La Decima. We need to get La Decima. They were chasing it, bro, chasing it and chasing it. They hadn't won a Champions League since 2002 when Zidane scored that incredible volley. So, and they ended up winning it in 2014, bro. So that's 12 years. So they, like, Ronaldo had, like, there was a big task there where it was like, you know what? There's something massive to overcome here. Whereas obviously Madrid, bro, they've been they won the Champions League last season. 2022, they won it again as well. Do you get me? And then it's not even that far removed from that three-peat team. Do you get me? Where they won 3 in a row. So I think, yeah, right now there's a lot of pressure on Mbappe because Real Madrid fans, they're not starving. Like, it's not like things have been going bad. Like, they've been doing well. So I think, yeah, man, it's really interesting because his trajectory was looking crazy, and I think this is a pivotal point in his career. And he's a quality enough. He's still a quality player, and like, he can still prove people wrong. But yeah, currently there's definitely a lot of problems. Yeah, so he's got to figure it out.
He really does. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye on throughout this Champions League campaign. And then I guess the other kind of game that we should touch on, don't really have to, but Arsenal, I think, we streamed and Arsenal played. We went to Inter Milan, the 1-0. Wasn't a very interesting game. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on that before we kind of move on.
Yeah, bro. Obviously, we were streaming during like a good part of the first half, I think.
Yeah. I think we stopped streaming, then they scored like 2 minutes after.
Yeah. Got the penalty, and then and then obviously like watched the second half, and yeah, man, bro, this is not looking great for you guys, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just as regards to, I think the performance, again, from what I watched of it, but it was better. But I think, again, when we're speaking about the creativity, it was just like the tactics were just send the crosses in the box and let's hope for the best. Yeah, like, let's just hope for the best. Yeah. Like, do you get me? And I think some people have gone over the top and saying, oh, it was Inter Milan's, they were playing their D team, like F team, but okay, that wasn't the case. Come on, guy. I know I'm all in for the banter. I'm all in for the banter. But yeah, but that wasn't true. But they did rest some players.
Yeah, they did.
They did rest some players. And I think Arsenal, they just looked a bit like clueless. Like, they just looked a bit like, yeah, man, we don't know what was going to happen. And yeah, man, this, I think this problem, obviously Odegaard's, he's returning. I think that's going to be massive. But yeah, man, I think Arteta's got a big task as regards to, and we'll talk about it with the Chelsea game, but he's got to get this team playing again.
Yeah,
like he's got to get them playing again, because right now, like, you lot just aren't playing. Like, you're just, man, you're just not playing. Like, it's very basic. Like, it's very, very basic. And yeah, I think you're gonna have to try figure something out just to get things clicking again, because currently it's not. Like, and it's funny because I know you spoke about it before. A lot of people are very critical of Martinelli, and I know a lot of people who defend Martinelli have spoken about the system and the fullbacks and saying, what, we're not utilizing Martinelli and we're not trying to like maximize his strengths. with how we're playing, and systematically the changes that Arteta has made has hindered Martinelli. And I think that point can be made across a lot of different positions. Again, I spoke about Havertz, and it's just that, yeah, man, when you found something and things are working, you don't know.
Yeah, this is hate, man. This is a hate. No, I'm good. We're gonna talk. Because I saw his comment earlier about Palmer. I said you weren't here last week when Palmer stunk against United, but we'll talk. We'll talk, brother.
Streps, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, they're getting on to Martinelli fan base still, bro. Yeah, they are cooking him.
I know.
But I think Arteta, like, yeah, if you are to take the point of view that, oh, you know what, the system has hindered Martinelli. I think, yeah, man, like there's just been so many different things positions where I think you're looking at it and you're just like, yeah, man, this ain't looking great. Like even Rice, like he's not looking like the Rice that you signed from last season. Like, he's not looking like the Rice you signed from last season. Like it's just not looking great, bro. But yeah, we'll talk about that more so. But
we'll get into. I think Arsenal a lot more.
But I think obviously, disappointing. Obviously, you just need to start getting some wins on the board because obviously, this new format, like,
Well, to be fair though, we're not doing too bad in there. And I think even going into this game, I think we were like ninth and into an eighth, but we were just
you were just
outside the top eight. So I'm not. I think the rest of our fixtures are all a lot. So I'm not too concerned from a fixtures point of view, but I think definitely concerned from a performance point of view.
I think if you can, you would just want to avoid the
extra games.
I think it's just the extra games. I think that's 100%. More so.
We need to win the rest of our matches.
You would want to ideally avoid that. Like, not to say that I don't think like you couldn't get through, but it's just the extra games with the title, and if you have cup runs, it's not ideal.
No, it's not ideal, woman. But bro. Again, we'll get into Arsenal a bit more, but I think you kind of touched on everything I was kind of thinking too. It was a better performance, but still not great, man. But into two, man. These man, they, because these man too, man, they put every man behind the ball, and it is more difficult to create against a team who's played in that way. I think that's probably also a big kind of difference how it doesn't get spoken about as much between the Arsenal. Obviously, there's a lot more factors, and it's not just because of how oppositions are approaching us. But even the season where we were playing much better football, I think we were still at the Arsenal where like no one's respected us. So teams are still coming and just playing us. But then now teams respect us in the Premier anyway, and obviously Interplay, where is now every man behind the ball, and I think you need to even be more creative now to break down those type of teams. So, but we'll get into it. I think that's also we'll get into it when we get into the Chelsea game. I think that'll be an interesting kind of discussion. But bro, I think that was like post, I guess, our stream. What I thought would be interesting for us to touch on a little bit since we hadn't spoken about those kind of games in detail. But then, bro, I was going to give you a little chance to speak about, Ahmad, man, because I see him in the Europa League, Chateau, Amarin, bro. That right, I don't know if it's right wing back or it's going to be attacking mid. One of those, he's looking like, bro, I need to start. So I want to give you a chance to kind of speak on his performance because I saw the highlights of the game and he looked like he was really cooking in that match. So
bro, what have I been telling you about my boy, bro? I've been telling you, bro. Like, it's not, I don't wait for things to get great before I start giving the man that deserve their respect, bro. I know ballers when I see them, bro. I've been saying it from early, bro. My boy is a baller. He's a baller. And I said it, bro. Free Ahmad until he's backwards. You see what happens when he gets free? Bro. When they free him up, you see what he's doing, bro. Once he's just scoring headers now. But
he definitely didn't mean that. He definitely did not mean that. Let's not get you too much. He definitely didn't mean it, bro.
Great header.
I saw his eyes. That guy was looking across the box. He did not mean that.
Great header, bro. Great header. But man. Nah, bro. Like, fam, again, sometimes it's like you look at certain footballers and you just know that, man, this guy can ball. And I think Ahmad's one of them guys. Like, you look at him, his touch, like how he likes to like the interplay, like how he likes to link up with other players. He's capable of beating the player. Also, I think sometimes his pace is underrated as well because he does have a burst. Like, so, yeah, man. Like, Ahmad, I think a lot of United fans, and bro, how many times have I said it? Ahmad, one of his greatest problems is that he just needs more confidence, more arrogance. We said it. Ahmad needs Garnacho's arrogance. I've said it before, bro. Like, do you get me? Because a lot of the time, Ahmad is going to make the right decision. Like, and a lot of the time, he's going to go for the unselfish decision. And I think sometimes what we want is that, you know what, we trust you enough that you're going to make the right decision. So we are not going to be mad if every now and then you just want to go for it. Like, do you get me? Because we know you're not going to be reckless with it. Like, and I think that's the thing. It's like there's certain players where it's like, you know what, we can trust you because we know you're not just going to get overly carried away and then just start shooting from silly positions and you're not going to look to find your teammates and etc. Like, so yeah, man, like I was extremely happy for Ahmad. Overall, not the greatest performance.
Yeah, because I was in the gym during the first half and I was like, well, still 0-0 at half time. So was it like was the second half a lot better than the first half?
It was better. Like overall, I don't think it was still like the greatest performance. I think, yeah, like things were just again like it was a little bit slow. Like Amarin's got work to do. Like, yeah, like long story short. But yeah, I think Ahmad was like again like a major difference. And yeah, like we needed that win as well because we needed to start getting like more points on the board. Obviously, we drew our first 3 games in the Europa League, so and the Europa League is going to be an important competition for us this season. So yeah, we definitely needed the win. But yeah, Ahmad, hey man, like I'm not surprised. Like, do you get me? I told you, let the ballers ball.
I guess kind of before we move on to the Premier League fixtures, then where do you right now see him fitting into Amarin's system?
If he's playing the 3-4-3,
yeah,
I think he'll play like with those, like he'll play where I think he should play is like one of those 2 positions behind the 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he has a defensive ability to play as a wingback? That's what I've seen people.
He's got a very good work rate, and yeah, like he is gonna track back and he's gonna get tackles in. Like even for his second goal, literally that was all him. Literally, like he was tenacious, relentless, won the ball back, pinched it off, then got it, and then obviously curled it into the far corner. So yeah, like he's a very committed player. Like he's not someone that's just gonna lose the ball and then just like put his hands up and then not run back. Like, yeah, he's tenacious. He's going to put in the effort. But I would like to see Ahmad play in, like those 2 positions in behind the striker, one of those 2 positions. That's where I would want to see him. Where Amarim sees him, I don't know. Like, we've got to wait and see. Yeah, man. I told you, days before Amarim. That's why I called this period. days before Amarim. So,
I heard it. I heard it. No. Fair play. So I went to, I saw that he had a really good performance. I thought we should give him his flowers. But yeah, bro, I don't know if there's, before we kind of move on, whether there's any other games that you probably have.
Yes, bro.
Go on.
We need to talk about Barcelona.
Barcelona,
bro.
What do you want to say about Barcelona?
That front 3 is cooking.
Nasty.
Barca's front 3 is cooking, bro. Yeah. It's seriously cooking. And you know what's crazy about it as well, bro? If you look at the age profiles of the front 3, you've got Lamine, who's 17. You've got Rafinha, who's I think 27, and then you've got Lewandowski, who's 36. So, bro, there's almost 10 years apart each. There's almost 10 years apart between each player, bro. Like, do you get me? We're literally looking at different generations. And look how it's clicking. Like, literally, bro. We're looking at players 17, 27, and 36, bro. Literally, fam. So you've got, like, the young G. You've got, like, the person who, normally 27, you're thinking prime years. And then you've got, like, the quote-unquote, like, OG, who normally you're thinking, 36. They should be falling off, or like they should be there just to give their experience and stuff like that and advice. But bro, this guy's moving like the best striker in the world, bro. So, like, yeah, man, you're looking at the profiles and you're looking at the ages. And yeah, I think that dynamic is so interesting because it's something so rare to see. Like, do you get me? You've got the 17-year-old playing with the 36-year-olds. Do you get me? And then in between, you've got the 27-year-old, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, it's literally like youth and experience to the max. And it's clicking so well and it's working so well. And yeah, man, Barca are cooking. Like, they're cooking.
Yeah, no.
I gotta give proper credit to Lewandowski because I know, obviously, first season, like, he got his goals, they won the league, and then the next season, I know a lot of Barca fans were quite critical, and they thought, you know what, that might be it. And I think you can't begrudge him if that was it, because look at his career, look how many years he's been doing it for. But then, yeah, bro, this season, he's right back at it. Like, he's cooking. 36. Like, he's seriously cooking. It's 36, bro. He is cooking. Wow. He is cooking. Rafinha as well, we've spoken about him. Cooking, bro. Seriously cooking. I
love it, man. I love when a player turns it around like that, you know.
Yeah, man.
When the fans are on your neck like that, you can just continue going down because it's like everyone just on you. So it's just lovely when you see someone just say, "All right, cool. I heard the criticism, but it's time for me to rise." And fair play to Rafinha, man. He deserves massive credit.
Bro, he literally, like, again, we spoke about that whole thing with, like, Williams and how personally he took it when people were, like, having shirts with his number there, like he's not here. And yeah, man, he's balling out this season. Lewandowski's balling out this season. Lamine Yamal's balling out this season. That front three, again, 17, 27, 36, bro. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Yeah, fam. Like, do you get it? So, yeah, man. But, yeah, Hansi Flick, he deserves a lot of credit. Yeah. Because, yeah, man, he's got that team playing. And
but again, bro, this is what we say too, man. Sometimes the same players, the same team. Obviously, I guess maybe Lamine wasn't.
Like, he's going to continue. Yeah. He's one of the players that you expect. He's just got to, every season,
he's
just going to get better.
When we say generation, but what he's done with a lot of those same players that last season ago, we were thinking Barcelona are completely finished. We said, bro, I'm seeing what Madrid are doing. And I don't know how these lot are ever going to come back. And a season later, and the narrative is completely flipped again, man. So
bro. And that academy, bro, they just be cooking.
Yeah.
Just be cooking,
it needs to be studied, man.
Yeah, man.
It needs to actually be studied.
Yeah, they be cooking, bro. Literally, there's problems. They'll just say, get one of them.
In-house.
Literally get one of them. Hansi Flick would just say, get one of them. It was just like, who? One of them. Just bring one of them. Bring one of them.
What do you need, Mr. Flick?
Yeah, what do you need, Mr. Flick?
You know what? I need a son of a. Okay? I need a son of a. He can be 16, 17 no even that Kubasi guy too, I've been hearing that he's also a real problem.
Bro.
He's a real problem. So,
yeah, man. They just be creating these talents, fam. Literally, there's problems. They just say, bring one of them. Bring one of the kids, bro. Like, they're cooking, man. And like, I think, again, that just, it's so funny how quickly football can change because, like you said, people are looking at Barca and thinking, hey, man, the great Barca that we grew up on. Like, do you get me? That Barca.
Activating Liverpool after Liverpool, bro.
Oh, bro, that Barca. Do you know what that Barca team did to me, bro? Like, when you want to talk about teams, yeah, bro, we've all been scarred. Literally, all of us have been scarred, bro. That team took 2 Champions Leagues off of me, bro.
So they named us, bro. Barcelona Light,
bro. Literally, fam, what they've done, to teams in this
dying Barca.
Literally, fam, bro. I saw that team take 2 Champions Leagues off me. Obviously, I know what Messi was doing to you lot. Do you get me? Like, it, fam. So, to see that, and then to see, like, the trajectory they were on, and we're thinking, rah, what's going on? Obviously, they had the financial problems, etc. Messi leaves. And then now, bro, Lamine Yamal, 70-year-old, saw what he done at the Euros. Lewandowski, who people were saying is finished, now looking like the best striker in the world. Rafinha, who people are doubting, criticizing, he's now balling out. And then they just got bare young G's, bro. They said, all right, you, all come in. Do you get me? Then, man, Pedri, Gavi's back. Like, man, bro. scary times. They're a major threat for this Champions League. I'll say that.
Yeah, they are. They are. And again, we won't Kevin, we spoke about them, I think, in the last stream. But obviously, Liverpool team, man. I have a massive threat for this champs, man.
Yeah,
massive threats for this. So
yeah.
It's not. Boy, it's gonna be very interesting. Last question. Go on. Say what you're gonna say.
I told you, bro. This slot guy, bro. I said, fam. He said, "I know your centre back. I know what he's on. I've been watching. So we're not gonna play with a traditional number 9. Luis Diaz, go up front, hat trick, light work." Yeah. Bro, that's a man that knows how to coach. That's a man that knows how to coach, bro. Because I know a lot of people are looking at it thinking, bro, what are you doing? He said, you don't even know. You don't even know. Just let me coach. Attention. Yeah, pay attention. Let me coach. Bro, when I had my manager putting Mazarawi number 10, oh, but Lord have mercy. Amarin, please. I need something from you. I need you to change things. Oh gosh. But yeah, man. Serious.
No, I hear it. Serious. But last question I had before we get into the Premier League kind of preview for the weekend is, where do you stand on the discussion that this format is diluting the big games? Because we're seeing so many big games already. Not even just there's no get back, but it's the fact that I feel like Liverpool, Leverkusen, Arsenal going to Inter. Like, I feel like there's so many games that maybe usually would appear in the later stages of the champs. That do you think this is going to affect the competition as we go on? Do you have any kind of strong thoughts on that right now?
From that standpoint, no, not really. Like, I think obviously, what would normally happen is that you might get
Bayern, so those kind of games already.
Like you might have like normally you would have a group which, you know, it might be quite competitive, you know, the quote unquote group of death. Do you get me? And then you'll have other groups where it's like there's a clear potential winner. There's probably a favorite for who would get second, etc. And yeah, like I think this format, obviously, as regards to like big games occurring, like you said, Bayern and Barca, etc. I don't look at it as it diluting. Yeah, I don't think because I think if Barca and Bayern were to play each other now and then they play each other in a 2-legged knockout, I don't think I'm looking at the 2-legged knockout and thinking, oh well, they already played each other. So that's just me personally. What about you?
I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna sit on that one a little bit. Maybe I'll see when we circle back, because I think what I have also heard is like again, because these matches are coming so thick and fast too, is that it's hard to catch all of them. So it's like I'm probably missing the big games that usually I would make sure I wouldn't miss. And I've kind of heard that narrative, and I think I agree with it just because there's been so many big games already that I now don't know how impactful it's gonna be when those games come later on. So I think that's something I'm gonna have to probably see how I feel when it actually does happen. But it's a narrative I've heard that I kind of thought was interesting. So I wanted to get your take on it. How you kind of felt on that. So yeah. No, that's fair. I hear where you're coming from this one, man. But bro, so yeah, man, again, give you the opportunity if there's any other last champs game before we kind of get into the Premier League. Anything else,
bro? Not Champions League. Not the Europa League.
That Galatasaray Spurs game though, we won't talk about it. That was a crazy match.
We'll get to that.
We'll talk about that when we were speaking about it. But
yeah, man. Hey, Chelsea, they're really treating this conference league like it's bro. Hey, man. It's so funny as well because I know some people they were saying that when like he left out Parma for like this stage of the competition, people were like, oh, you're not taking this serious or whatever. This. And Maresca's like, you lot don't even have a clue, bruv. Like,
I've seen.
I've scanned these teams. You lot don't have a clue, bro. You think I'm putting Parma out for this?
Oh, God.
You think I'm playing Parma? Here, you lot don't have a clue, bro.
Yeah, man. That game.
And then these man gave them 8. I said, yeah, bro, serious. But yeah, I just saw that I was like mad, bro.
I think that's even a perfect transition into, I guess, definitely the biggest game of this weekend, man. Because I think we've spoken about it. Now, Arsenal, we've been doing a lot of must not drop points, and we've been dropping points. And this is another must not drop point. And Chelsea, they've been a very good side this season. I feel like it's probably taking me maybe a bit longer than others to kind of say, yeah, this is objectively a good team. And clearly they are objectively a good team. So, bro, man, I don't know what you're kind of thinking about this game this weekend. Arsenal go away to Stamford Bridge, already 7 points behind Liverpool. Another game that Arsenal, they have any hope of any hope of staying in this title race, cannot afford to drop points. I think you alluded to in the last stream as well that, bro, life, man, it comes at you very fast. One day you're in a title race, the next day you're competing for top 4. And just like that, us and Chelsea on the same points now. Only difference is goals. They beat us. Boy, that top 4 race is heating up. So yeah, bro, I don't know what you're thinking about this game, what your initial thoughts are, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, I think it's an absolutely massive game. Like, it's a massive game. I think, yeah, Arsenal lost to Inter Milan. Obviously, the loss to Newcastle. You've been going through your problems. And currently, the gap between you and C is 5 points. The gap between you and Liverpool, 7 points. So, yeah, Arsenal need to be winning this. Like, they really need to be winning this. Like, it's extremely, extremely important for your title ambitions. And, yeah, man, like I said, life comes at you fast. Football comes at you fast. And the same way where that season, what was it, 22-23, where you guys challenged for the title and we thought it was going to be a top 4 thing, and then it was just like, you know what, you just kept on going and going and going, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, it's a title challenge. It's the same way where the reverse can happen. Like, do you get me? Where it's like, oh, you're expected to challenge for the title, and then before you know it, boom, you're in a top 4 battle. And yeah, like, it's an absolutely massive game for you. I think with Chelsea as well, it's interesting. Obviously, we spoke about that ain't no win, but yeah, I don't think like a lot of us.
You don't think Arsenal comparable to FC Noah?
Yeah, man. Respectfully, man. Shout out them, man, though. But yeah, so obviously the last Prem match was against us, and Chelsea were very poor. Like, they were very poor. So also,
bro, on that quickly, yeah. Where do you kind of stand on the? Because I've also heard this. Football, we always heard this kind of as good as it is that Chelsea can have 2 completely different teams for the competitions. Do you think it hurts the players more not playing those matches where you're now having a week off? Because you always kind of get that thing of like, I always feel like I think you got alluded to, like, yeah, after you have a bad performance, you want to now play again so you can now make it right. And then you also have the element of, for like match fitness and fluidity, you want to keep playing and sharpness. You want to keep playing matches. Like, do you think that this just completely changing 11s like every other week would do more harm to them than good? So while you're speaking on that, kind of, I thought that was.
I think that's a really good question. I think it's interesting because I think Maresca. The reason why I don't think it's too bad is because I think Maresca's got certain things that he's got to manage. So, one, you've got someone like a Reece James who, yeah, he's going to need to be rotated naturally just because of his injury problems. You have someone like a Lavia who's had a lot of injury problems. Again, he's someone that potentially you would want to be rotated as well. And then I think you've got these attackers who they're dying for minutes. So you've got to like make sure they're like getting enough minutes as well. But obviously I understand what you're saying regarding like just continuity and like, yeah, having your players play. But I think that there's gonna be enough games where like it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think it's down for Maresca to decide kind of like, you know what? I think naturally squads, they'll tend to get, like, you have large squads, but then you kind of have like your rotation. So it's like, you know what players, you know who's guaranteed the start, and then you've got a few positions where it's like, okay, you know what, this is subject to change. Like, do you get me? Like, you've got multiple players competing. So, for example, in the Chelsea team, this is even a question for you. In the Chelsea team, who do you think currently are like undroppables?
Oh, okay. I would say, Palmer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say Pedro Neto.
Okay.
I would probably say Cole and Fofana. I think they're two clear best centre backs.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Caicedo, obviously. I would probably say not undroppable from the point that from a fitness point of view he needs to be rotated, like you said, but Lavia, I would say, and I think those would be the players. I think everyone else can be rotated.
Okay. See, I even think like someone like a Neto, for example. I don't think he's undroppable. I think he's so? I think he's if you're doing well, if you're doing well,
I hear it.
Like Sancho might come in, like you might go out, a Felix might come in, etc. I think even Madueke, I think he's been doing, like, he started the season well, but I don't think he's necessarily guaranteed that position either. Like, I think currently you've got Palmer and Jackson in that attack who currently there's no move in them, but then I think both on the right and left, I think things can be moved around. Like, I think again you've got Caicedo, who we've spoken about him, like he's one of the best midfielders in the league. Like, his performances have been brilliant. Like, I think when you're talking about players who are like really showing what they're worth this season, you're looking at him, you're looking at someone like a Gravenberch as well. Like, they're really putting in great performances. But currently he's someone that's not going to move. I think Lavia, really like Lavia, and I think the ideal, like that, when you're talking about like the midfield combination, I think the ideal combination is Caicedo and Lavia. But then obviously you've got Enzo there as well, where, like, you know, because of Lavia's, like you said, fitness issues, like there'll be maybe times where he wants to bring Enzo in, etc. And then we spoke about like the whole Gusto, Reece James thing, but then there's Cucurella, and then obviously like you've got the defense, which, like, I know you're very critical of the Chelsea defense. Do you get me? But so I think even with that, like, I think if someone like is able to, like, I think even in the defense, I think if someone is able to like really step up, you know, there's certain positions where it's like, even if you do pretty much all you can do, you're not playing, bro. Like, do you get me?
It's unfortunate. Your ceiling is just not.
It's just unfortunate. Like, for example, like if you look at that number 10 position, it's like you're not moving Palmer. Like, do you get me? Like, it's just one of them things. Like, it's like how the discussion was. Like, currently the discussion is changing a lot. But, you know, previously with England, with Kane, it's like, bro, someone can be killing it in the league, bro. And it's just like, they can be doing whatever. They can be, and you just know Kane's going to start.
We don't care.
We don't care. Kane's going to start. Do you get me? Whereas I think in that Chelsea defense, they don't have like unmovables like that. Like I said, Reece James, we know what he's capable of, but he's got the injury problems. Do you get me? Cucurella's been really good, but I don't think, like, even when you're talking about like Colwill and stuff like that, like, I think, like, whether it's a player that's going to come in, whether it's like, but I think it's not nailed. Like, it's not, again, not like when you're looking at that Arsenal defense, so you're looking like, bro, like, Saliba's gonna have to go on like a 6-8 month downward spiral. Do you get me? Do you get me?
Gabriel's gonna have to be
Gabriel it's gonna have to be consistent. Like, do you get me? Whereas like there's other positions where it's just like,
I agree with that.
What Martinelli? What Trossard? You're doing,
but he's been stinky too,
you're
man.
doing what? But you know what it is? I think that's to do with, and that's even a good point. I think, for example, if Sterling was to come on, And I think if Sterling was to put in great performances, then that position's for his to take.
Yeah,
like, do you get me? Yeah, it's not like the right where it's like, bro, you're not moving Saka. Like, do you get me? You could do what you want, guys. Like, do you get me? You could play as great as you want. Do you get me? You could do what you want. Like, Arteta's gonna say, "Well done, man. Well done, bro. Well done." Do you get me? But if he can't find another position for you, bro, then do you get me? Like,
it's a shame,
bro. It's a shame. It's unfortunate. We'll try and get some League Cup games in there. Do you get me? Maybe a bit of Champions League minutes in the latter stages when we're already through. Do you get me? Last 10, 15 minutes of the Prem, we'll try and fit you in there. Do you get me? But unless like Salah comes to Arsenal, bro, Saka's not moving.
Yeah,
like, do you get me? So I think Chelsea, they've got a lot of positions going back to them where like things are up for grabs, and like there's not like necessarily, there's a lot of positions which are contentious where it's like, you know what, this player could play, this could play. So I think for those positions, I don't think rotation is bad because I think it can keep things competitive. But I understand what you're saying as regards to like having players stay sharp. And I think that's probably that would be probably for Maresca to, I think, to keep players sharp, you don't necessarily need to like keep on starting them, but maybe when, like, for example, in the Conference League, they get to like further into the competition, maybe that's when you want to give like a Palmer like a 30 minutes. Do you get me? There, like, do you get it? Just to keep him fresh. Like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, maybe you want to give Jackson more minutes. Like, you want to switch things up like that. So yeah, like, he's got a big squad to manage in it, but I think he's already been very vocal, like, as regards to like, you know, who's in these plans and who's not in these plans. If he's not feeling someone, then Maresca, he seems like the type of manager, given the evidence that he's given us. Like, he's just gonna say, yeah, you're not a part of my plans. Do you get me? I've seen enough, and it's unfortunate.
No, I hear him.
Yeah.
But I guess kind of touching a bit on like, I guess from the Arsenal side of this, man, is that it's so funny, because I remember again the parts of when I was starting to watch football and growing up, bro. I remember the years where Chelsea were a horrible team for us to play, bro. I remember this Mourinho guy would just be cooking us for fun. Like, we just couldn't buy a win against these lot. And it's so crazy, bro. I saw a stat earlier that Chelsea have only won 1 of the last 9 Premier League matches against Arsenal. And I was like, wow, how a record or like how things can change against an opposition that used to cause you serious problems. Like, I don't know.
I remember when was it Hazard? I remember was it Coquelin that he put in a blender? Like, he just bounced off him.
That's what they say. Hey, Arsenal, bro. That's what they say. Hey, bounced off him. I would see those players like Hazard, would come and like dual pass like 5-6 plays. I'm like, are you lot not men? Like, how are you allowing him to do this, bro? Take him out. Like, take him out, bro. I used to hate Arsenal during those years, bro. Oh my god. So so I think that was a crazy stat. So again, even from the Chelsea point of view, as much as there's a lot of pressure on Arsenal too to we cannot lose. I guess from like the Chelsea psyche, are they also confident that they will beat us in this game?
I don't know if they're confident, but I know their fans are absolutely desperate to beat you guys. Like, oh my days, yeah, man. Like, I think even after Arteta, after the Inter Milan, he was like, I think he said, "Oh yeah, based on what I've seen, I think we'll go beat Chelsea. We'll go, bro. Chelsea, bro. I saw Chelsea fans saying
Chelsea are not Inter,
bro. I saw Chelsea fans saying, Chelsea, please, bro. I bet they are ready. They are ready, fam. And I think after that performance they put against us, like, they have to, they're gonna have to respond from that. Like, do you get me? So I think the big one is obviously Palmer. Like, I think he'll play, but if he does play, obviously, like, is he gonna be like fit? Like, is his foot? Or is this?
I actually don't know.
Is it? But I think it was from the tackle from Martinez. But like, I think like because they will need him. Like, do you get me? Yeah, like they need him to be doing his job. Like, so
I think I saw Maresca say that he's getting better.
He's getting better. Yeah.
So again, it might be mind games. We'll see.
Yeah. Could be. But Chelsea, like, I think you know what this game is? I think this is more like it's more like a. I think it's more like a. It's probably like an internal pressure for them, like as regards to like a full proper test as regards to where they're at.
Yeah, because
Because
I
if
think that sorry, bro, on that, I think that's a very really good point because like as much as we've given Chelsea a lot of credit this year, the City game they performed a lot better than everyone thought they would.
yeah,
Decent, narrow loss. The Liverpool game they performed well again, narrow loss. I still don't
narrow
think they have a win under their belt where you're like, "Car, that's a scalp that they're taking." If that makes sense. So kind of adding on to your point to kind of let you continue about the internal
yeah,
pressure from their side.
yeah, because it's like different things are at stake for both of your teams. Like the detriment that this will cause to Arsenal's title ambitions is severe. Whereas if Chelsea lose this match, the detriment that it will cause to their top four ambitions isn't severe. Like, do you get me? It's like, yeah, like they can brush it off and go again. And yeah, but I think within themselves, they will have a point to prove. Like they went to Old Trafford again, interim settings, and I think a lot of their fans were expecting like a really good performance. They were expecting to really put us to the sword, and they didn't do that. And yeah, I think obviously London rivals, they'll be looking at that record they've got against you, and I think yeah, man, they'll be really, really eager to try and prove some doubters wrong and get the win over you. So yeah, I think there's pressure on them, like, but I think it's probably more amongst themselves. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, like from the outside, like I said, if Chelsea lose, it's not a catastrophe. It's not like, yeah, they go again. Do you get me? Whereas I think with Arsenal, like the fallout from a Chelsea loss is going to be very different to a fallout from an Arsenal loss. Like, do you get me?
100%.
So I think, yeah, but like I think, yeah, you can't just say there's no pressure on Chelsea. Like I think there is pressure.
No, again,
and
man,
also
you know,
there's pressure to perform as well, because it's like, like if this
Yeah.
Arsenal team that's not been playing well goes over to the Bridge and just bops you off the park, then there's gonna be questions.
So,
If
you know,
Palmer
sometimes too,
plays and he's fit and he doesn't perform, then obviously, you know, again, you know how much I rate him, but people are gonna look and say, yo, what's going on there?
Big game.
So yeah, man, there is questions.
No,
that
no,
I think,
hear
yeah,
it.
you can't just completely relieve them off of. It's not a free hit. Yeah,
because you know what it is. Yeah, I want everyone to be held accountable. Because you know what I don't like in football discussions sometimes is there will be so much talk about us ending your season and us being the reason why you now don't do this. Now, when you lose, don't now just say, "Oh yeah, we wouldn't expect to win anyway." Like, no, like keep the same energy. But I know, but it's one thing I don't like, innit? It's them little football things. I'm just like, bro, you were meant to stop our title race and beat you. You're meant to be our biggest rivals and we beat you. So what happened? Like,
bro, that's part of the pressure. Also, just like, yeah, when you are challenging, bro. Like I remember when I was growing up, we used to get United all the time, bro. Where it's just like, what, you lost to, and then it's just like, bro, what? Like, what even? And then it's just like, and then when we win, it's just like, but you're United. You're Manchester United.
So you're Manchester United.
You're Manchester United. You're supposed to beat us. Do you get me? So it's just, yeah, man. I think it's the nature of football, isn't it? Like, it's the nature of football. But yeah, Chelsea, like they've got I think there's gonna be, again, like I said, pressure within their camp, but also, like, I think those players, they're gonna have a point to prove.
And then like from Arsenal too, man. Like you were saying, Palmer's a big doubt whether he's gonna play. I think the interesting thing for me in this game too is even Odegaard, because even in the Inter game, I expected him to get more minutes than he actually got. The fact that
you take the risk and start him.
Arteta's a madman. So I wouldn't be shocked. But
would you?
Oh, do I? Oh. I think I do, man. I think I do. I think you need to give me at least the first half of something, man. Like, even if you can't finish the game, I need to see you. If it's like, cool, it's looking like half time, this guy's just not fit, then take him off. But I think based on what I've been seeing, based on the midfield that it would be if he doesn't play, yeah, brother, please strap up that ankle and get on that pitch. You're a captain. Show us that you're a captain, bro. So So I would, man, because again, with Arsenal too, it's all nice saying Odegaard has been missing and creativity, but I think we also need to prove that even when Odegaard does come back, it's bigger than just Odegaard. Like, we need more, like you said, structural changes in the team. We need Ben White overlapping. We need Timber doing more with Martinelli on that side if he's the one who's starting. We need the midfield to look more balanced. So again, like, I feel like as much as it's very easy to just say, yeah, Odegaard is a savior and hopefully he starts, and I think there's much bigger questions that we need to prove. Like, I think the overall team just needs to perform much better as well for us to get the win that we need from this game. Because I would say too that I'm a little bit more confident about this one than I was going into the Newcastle match, just because of the opposition. Whereas I feel like with the Newcastle game, there was more pressure on us going in terms of that the aspect of our like creativity issue. Whereas with Chelsea, from a tactical point of view, what I've seen so far this season, because I always feel like Sanchez is a bum and he's going to give you chances, that us being more defensively solid, we will still get more chances because of how they play as well, if that makes sense. I think maybe that's where there's a little argument too that Odegaard he needs to start. But it's not as critical as it was for him to have been there maybe for us in that Newcastle game. I don't know what you think about that, just from like a tactical point of view of how, because I kind of think Arsenal we've shown that we're more than capable of going and being bin men. We know how to go and stink up a stadium and put every man behind the ball and hit them on the counter. Like, do you think that will help us in this game, or do you feel like who do you kind of see dominating possession in this match? I guess it's kind of like my overall question. Like, in terms of from a tactical point of view, like, do you think we'll go and try and impose ourselves, or do you think we'll go and try and impose ourselves, or do you think we'll allow Chelsea to have the ball and try beat them in that way, or play them in that way? What do you think?
I think a lot of it has got to do with selection. So yeah, you see this midfield that Arteta's been cooking up. Like, do you get me?
Nasty,
with the
bro.
man,
so nasty.
Like,
and it's smelly,
bro.
It's not
the one,
midfield,
bro.
man.
So it's like, so like, I think Partey needs to be in that midfield. Like, do you get me? Like, because out of your players, do you get me? Like, a lot of them is underperformed. Rice has underperformed. Like, there's so many of your players that underperformed. He's, again, maybe he's playing for that new contract. I don't know, but he's been playing well. Do you get me? So it's like, and that's what I was saying against the Newcastle match. I was just like, fam, like, bro, he's like, Partey's a better passer than Rice. Like, Partey's like in the midfield. Like, Partey is obviously not talking about Odegaard, but yeah, Partey's the guy that can get on the ball, fam, and like make that ball flow.
Incisive passes.
So I think like that's going to be important for you. But I think Arsenal will be looking to try and impose themselves in the game. I don't think this is the game where like you try stink it out and get the jammy. I don't think so, man. I think there's too much on the it's situational, innit? Do you get me? So it's like ahead of the Tottenham game, because of like the injuries and like, you know, everything that was going on before the match, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I think this is going to be the approach. It makes sense. Even in the City game, before the Trossard red card, you guys were playing football. Like, do you get me? Like, you're playing football. Like, so things were looking better. And then obviously the red card occurred. And then boom. Like, yeah, it was all backs against the wall. And then obviously, yeah, you tried to hold out for the win. And then it ended up being a draw. But yeah, I don't think this is the game to try and like, yeah, I think this is the game where it's like, you know what? You try and like impose yourselves onto the match. I think obviously your threats as regards to set pieces, Chelsea aren't good at defending set pieces either. So those threats are still going to be there. Like, do you get me? But I think after these, because you know where it is as well, yeah? I think with how you've been playing, if you go over there and you play this nasty football, bro, bro, it's such a big risk because one, as the match goes on, bro, the pressure is gonna really ramp up. And if you forget draw, if you play that football and you don't win,
Arteta,
oh my bro, bro.
It'll be ringing from Stamford Bridge, bro.
If you play,
yeah.
especially if Odegaard comes back into that team and you play the football that you've been playing and you don't win, even if you do win, there's gonna be people that are not happy. But if you play that football and you don't win, it's long. Like, do you get me? I feel like Arsenal need to go there and say, bruv, like, you need to, like, you know, Arteta needs to speak to the players and say, fam, you guys need to remember who you are, bruv, because what on earth is this, fam? Like, do you get me? Unless he's the one. Actually, maybe it's the players that need to speak to Arteta and say, Arteta, you need to let us play football again.
Yeah.
Please. You need to let us play football again. Because we're tired. Do you get me? I don't know what way round it is. Do you get me? Because I'm saying Arteta needs to speak to them, but fam, they're following Arteta's instructions. So maybe the players, they need to have a meeting. Do you get me?
Please let me overlap.
Please.
I can stand it.
Please, fam. Havertz needs to say, Arteta, can I just stay up front, please? Odegaard's back, please. Do you get me? They say, hey man, like they need to figure things out. Like, do you get me? They need to say, party, please, can we just please have him in midfield? Like, do you get me? Like, can we just do that, please? Like, I think, but I think it's gonna be important because I think if Arsenal go to Stamford Bridge, they play well and they win, then what that can do psychologically for your season is
Odegaard coming back as well.
It's massive. That's why I think you need to go there and impose yourselves, because I think even if you go over there and you get the win, of course you'll be delighted to get the win, but let's say you play really bad and you get the set piece goal. Do you get me? I think the mood, the attitude around, like, just the whole atmosphere, like, surrounding, I don't think a lot of the things that have necessarily been said, like a lot of like the tension and the complaints from fans, I don't think that's gonna go away. Like, do you get me? Like, like, because you know what's interesting, you know how you said that sometimes like rival fans, what they can do is that they will say, you know what, like, there's so much pressure on you to win, and then when they do win, then they'll say, but we're just little old, you're expected to beat us. Interestingly, that can also happen within like your own fan base. That the same thing can happen, and what I mean by that is that, like, there can be a whole thing of like, you need to win, you need to win, you need to win, you need to win, we need to win, we need to rise. And then when you do win, again, it can be like, well, we were expected to win. Like, we should be winning these games. And I think what will convince a lot of fans is the manner in which you win, bro. Because it's like, like, bro, in many years that I've bantered Arsenal, bro, like, I've seen a lot. Do you get me? I've seen a lot. I've seen you guys complain. I've seen you guys say, you know what? We're weak. Our mentality isn't right. We're going to Stoke and they're bullying us. United putting 8 past us. We're going to Stamford Bridge. Hazard has Coquelin in the blender. I've seen all of this, bro. I've seen fans say, you know what, we're a disgrace, all of that. But you know what I've hardly ever seen, bro, is I hate how we're playing football.
Yeah, man.
Like, after in all these years, bro, years. So to see Arsenal fans say that about their own team, where they're like, oh my days, bro. They're saying, Arsenal's fans are saying we're boring, bro. Like, that's completely against your whole philosophy. Like, do you get me? Like, as regards to like you being boring or you being not being entertaining. Like, do you get me? At least in modern times. And again, with me, like, just from a rival fan's perspective, I think I have no problem with, for example, Arteta setting up in certain games smartly, or like, because of certain circumstances, saying, you know what, we're going to do this to get a result. Like, do you get me? And then doing what he needs to do to get a result. Like, I've seen Ferguson do it. Like, do you get me? Like, Ferguson went always, I told you, bro, that season where it's like, talking about Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, bro, like all of that, bro. I remember 2008 when we went to the Camp Nou Camp, and we faced Barcelona, bro. They were even at Old Trafford, bro. I remember 08 Champions League semi-final. They were on us, bro. They were on. This is with Ronaldo. Do you get me? This is prime United, bro. They were on us, bro. Fam, we were fighting for our lives, bro. I was just, you know, when you're waiting for the final whistle, Skull scores the banger. I said, guys, all hands on deck. All hands on deck, bro. All hands on deck. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with like for certain fixtures setting up in a certain way, but I think where it's actually becoming a problem is that it's like you've done that and then literally you just forgot how to play football. And I think, when I was seeing Ferguson do it, for example, he'll set up in a certain way for a certain game and the next game we're right back at it. Like, do you get me? Like, and that's how it's supposed to be. Whereas now it's like, hey, wait, you know what? We'll give you the benefit of the doubt for this performance. And then it's like, oh, wait, no. You done it again, but we understand here. And it's like, okay, there was a red card here. And then it was just like, and then it's like, hey, you know what? This isn't a coincidence anymore. Yeah, bro. We're stopping the excuses. You guys play, you guys are playing bad football. Yeah. Like, there's no more, oh, it's because of this. No, bro. It comes to the point where it's just like, you know what? This isn't an accident anymore. This isn't a one-off game. This is how you're playing. Do you get me? So, and I think that's been a major concern where it's just like, bruv, like I think a lot of Arsenal fans can get with it when it's just like, oh, you know what, for a certain performance, we're gonna set up like this to get a result and then we're gonna keep it moving. But then when it's becoming a thing where it's just like, I'm seeing Arsenal fans, bro. I was seeing it, bro, after the Inter Milan match. I'm seeing them just like, bro, this Arteta ball, man. I don't know what's going on. I said, fam, out of all the things that I've seen Arsenal fans say, bro, do you get me, in the last 15 years, bro, Arsenal fans criticizing how they play football has not been one of them. I said it, bro. Arsenal fans talking about how their players are weak mentally, how they're weak physically, how they don't challenge enough, like how they get bullied, how, you know what, they're not making the right transfers, the board, the manager. I've seen all these complaints, bro. But you playing bad football has not been one of them. And so I think it's important for you to, like, again, because you know what it is? I think fans can see like intention. So it's like even in the Inter Milan game, it was better. But again, it looked like the tactics were literally just send the crosses into the box. Yeah. And I think fans can differentiate. Like, I think, again, fans, we're not experts. Do you get me? We're not football players. We're not managers. But we can differentiate between, you know what, you just lack ideas and you lack creativity and you're trying things, they're just not coming off, and the opposition's making it really hard for you. Do you get me? So it just wasn't your day. Like, we can differentiate between the two. Like, we know when it's like, you know what, it looks like you've just ran out of ideas. And I think Arteta, he's got to go to Stamford Bridge, and I think he's got to get Arsenal playing football again, man. Like, you get me? He's got to do that. So
I completely agree, man. This is definitely we have to win, and we have to also perform well. Because I think we need confidence now that, man, it's all nice saying Liverpool are 7 points ahead of us and the Arsenal fans saying, man, but we still think Liverpool can drop points. That's all irrelevant unless we start putting performances together that looks like it can be built on.
And creating, bro. Sorry, bro, because after the international break, bro, do you know who's coming to the Emirates? Forest. Do you get me? And their defense have been serious. Do you get me? Their defense have been serious, bro. So you better find ways of breaking things down.
It's true. And again, I have to put my hands up too, man. I'm also critical of other teams sometimes where you have to. That's your job, innit? When City, most teams play City like this. Most teams know City are better than us. When City was moving crazy, and City still said, "Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll still come and destroy you anyway." So I think that's the position that we need to be in if we actually have serious intentions of actually. And
this game's really important as well, because I think the reason why like people are really going to be looking at the Arsenal performance is because we're not expecting Chelsea to set up with like 10 men behind the ball. Like, that's not how we think they're going to approach the game. They're going to leave spaces. Chelsea are going to go for it enough where you guys shouldn't have an excuse as regards to we can't play football because everyone's just camping in the box. That's not how Chelsea are going to approach it. Like, do you get me? Like, none of us think Chelsea are just going to come. Maresca's going to say, all right, guys, that's not how Chelsea have played this season. So, I think, you've got to really go there and like try and play good football and like stick to your principles and get the win, because I think even I think what you need is a momentum shifter. That's what you need this game to be. You need it to be a momentum shifter. And like, I think there's certain circumstances where we don't care about the performance. We just need the win. I think here you need the performance and the win. Like, I think you need a momentum shifter, because I think what the performance will do is that will change the momentum. And I think that's what you need. So whilst the 3 points are important, and of course, like, if you did perform bad and you got the 3 points, Arsenal fans are not going to say we don't want the 3 points. Do you get it? But at the same time, I think, you need something that's going to be able to, like, recharge you and, like, make things go in a different direction. Like, because currently it's looking stale. So
no, 100, man.
I
think that's the most worrying thing, man. I feel like once it stops looking like the players are flowing, I feel like that's usually when it just starts going downhill, man. From watching football. So boy, Arteta needs to turn it around very quickly. Otherwise, boy, it can get very long for him very quickly, man. But bro, I guess kind of two final questions I had then before we get into predictions and we move on to the next fixture was. Firstly, I'll answer both at the same time. Firstly, if Arsenal lose, is that just completely title race done? Forget about it. Second follow-up question is, if Chelsea win, does that put Chelsea in the title race?
First question, if Arsenal lose and Liverpool and City win, then I think it's long for you. I think I can't see you catching up. I can't see you catching up, because again, it's not just about them dropping points, it's also about, like, you going on a run and continuously picking up enough points. So I think if Arsenal lose and then City and Liverpool win, then I think it's long. Chelsea, I mean, stranger things have happened, like, do you get me? But I don't think this Chelsea side are ready to be challenging for no title, man. Like, I think Chelsea fans will say that. I think they're looking at top four, and that's their aims. I think they want to win Conference League, they want to win top four. I mean, they want to get into the top four, and then they're probably looking, hopefully, maybe to pick up an FA Cup, and then, like, do you get me? That's a good season for them. But title wise, I think that's a big ask. Like, I can't see that happening. Man. Like, again, bruv, word to unorthodox change. Do you get me? Out of Liverpool, Arsenal, and City, bro, do you get me? Chelsea, they're your rivals. Do you get me? They're your London rivals, bro. If Chelsea win the title, bro, man, out of those four, I'll definitely pick Chelsea, but I can't see it happening.
I hear it, bro. And then I guess kind of last things, and before we move on to the next fixture, let's get into the predictions. I'll go first on this one, being the home side. Then I'll let you go. Again, this is the head and heart. If I'm being honest, my head is leaning towards a draw, if I'm being honest. Because again, I actually do think Chelsea are a good team. I think everything I've seen leading up to this point tells me that I can't be confident going to Stamford Bridge now saying Arsenal are going to get a win. My heart and what I need to happen and what I'm going to go with, regardless of whether it's wrong or right, is I have to go for Arsenal win, man. But I'm going to make it narrow. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think you swayed me a little bit because I was leaning on, would Arsenal stink it out? I was thinking we could also go stink out 1-0. But you know what? I do actually agree with what you're saying, that I think we actually cannot afford to do that. We actually need to go and get goals in this game and actually put a performance together. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. But I know that's definitely, like I said, been with my Arsenal fan of what we need more than maybe logically what's the most logical kind of way I actually see this going. So how do you see this one going?
Funnily enough, obviously I'm not going with my heart, but I actually said 2-1 as well. I think Arsenal get the win. I think you need to win. Also, I think, and again, it's down to Chelsea to, like, redeem a certain level of trust. But I think after that performance at Old Trafford, like, I'm also looking at them a bit more questionably. Like, do you get me? Like, okay, maybe they're not they're not as far along as I thought they were. And so, yeah, I'm going for Arsenal 2-1 win.
Nah, all right, cool. We'll lock that in and we'll get into it. So yeah, bro, either way, man, it should be a massive. The implications of this match is gonna be big either way.
Man.
So we'll talk about it. But the next fixture that I wanted to talk about, bro, like, because again, like I think, like you were alluding to, you know, Chelsea are not your rivals, but who are your rivals, bro? Are Liverpool, and they have been absolutely flying. And they have another tough game this weekend. I think these are two teams that are in completely opposite runs of form. And we have Liverpool, who have won their last 3 Premier League matches. We have Villa that have lost their last 3 kind of games. I don't know if it's Prem or just games in like their
not Prem.
I don't think it's Prem, but games in all kind of competition. So boy, and now they're colliding. So my question to you was, do you see where do you, it's kind of that which one do you see breaking? Do you see Liverpool giving them their 4th loss in a row, or do you think Villa can do something to minimize Liverpool going and winning 4 in a row? Where do you stand on this one, bro?
Yeah, I think I think I see, man. I think I see Liverpool getting the win, man. Like, honestly speaking, I think with how Liverpool have been playing, what Slot has done, he's really just had this Liverpool team functioning like at a high level. Again, you've got players there. We've spoken about it before, but your Van Dijks, your Salahs, your Trents, you've got players who have been there, who have done it, like who are experienced, who you can trust. And I think, again, as regards to their individual legacies, there's been a lot of talk regarding contracts. We'll see what happens. But I think they'll be desperate to get another title. We've spoken about Salah and Van Dijk. They're in their 30s. Trent is younger. But yeah, I think they would want to be like having another Premier League title. And yeah, they'll want their legacy to, you know, show that it wasn't just a one-off thing. So yeah, I can see Liverpool winning this one. I think Villa just going through a difficult patch at the moment. I think with the Club Brugge result, like obviously it was a bizarre penalty that Mings gave away. So yeah, like I think a point there would have been good for them, but they weren't able to get it. But overall, they've won 3 out of 4 in the Champions League. League-wise, obviously, that Spurs game lost 4-1. That would have been a little bit concerning. Like I said, it weren't like a whole match kind of battering. The first half, I thought Villa was better. I don't think Spurs were great. In the second half, Spurs were much better. Like they turned it on. But yeah, I think that Emery, he will go to Anfield with a plan. And I don't think it'll be easy. I don't think it'll be easy at all. But I expect Liverpool, with the momentum they've got, again, they've just beat Leverkusen 4-0. Slot has only lost to Forest. The only points he's dropped in this league campaign is the 1-0 loss to Forest and the 2-2 draw at the Emirates. He's won every other game. Like in the Champions League, they've won every game. In the League Cup, they're through to the quarters. Bro, they're cooking, man. I told you. It's sad. It's sad to see from a United perspective, but they are absolutely cooking. And yeah, man, this Salah guy, he's just relentless. Like, he's absolutely relentless. And yeah, when you've got players like that who can just win you a match, when you've got players like Van Dijk, leaders, great defenders, like you've got Konate who's raised these levels, you've still got Trent. And then we were talking about Chelsea and competition for places, but within that forward line, you've got competition for places. Obviously, Gakpo, Diaz, and then Slot's now shown that he can even play both of them, like no problem with Salah. So now there's even more things to think about. Like, oh, is he going to try to do the Diaz up front thing again? Or is Diaz going to go to the left and then Núñez through the middle? Or is it going to be Gakpo on the left and then Núñez through the middle? Like, what is he going to do there? And then even within that midfield, you've got Curtis Jones, who I'll give a shout out to because he's put some good performances in. So yeah, like Liverpool, man, they're cooking. Villa are definitely a team though that they can cause you serious problems. Like they've got quality players, like they've got players there that can hurt you. So yeah, man, like you said, two different trajectories as regards to form. I think Villa are going through a little blip. I don't think it's something to be like highly concerned about. But yeah, I think they would want to put it right. So yeah, like I think it will be I think it's 8:00 on Saturday as well.
No, is it?
So
On the lights.
yeah. So yeah, man, I think Liverpool are going into it with good spirits. But yeah, so long story short, I feel like with the momentum Liverpool have, I can't really see past them if I'm being honest. But yeah, how do you feel like the game is gonna go? How do you think things are gonna play out? And do you think Villa are capable of going to Anfield and kind of changing things around?
Yeah. You know what it is, yeah. Again with football, sometimes it's like you said, I think everything that you said is so true. Like just logically, based on everything that we've seen so far, you would definitely lean towards Liverpool and doing what they've been doing and getting the win. But now I'm looking at Villa as well and saying, after losing 3 in a row, they also have to bounce back. They also need to put in a big performance in this game. They have to also go to Anfield and actually show us something. Because, yeah, otherwise it just becomes a thing where it's like, when are you going to make it 4 losses in a row? Like, I won't point the players and everyone just like get up and say, yeah, regardless of who we're playing against, we need to take something from this game. Even if, sometimes you have to like stem the bleeding a little bit. It's like, even if it's not a win, it's like, you have to, what's it called? And when you twitch it.
Yeah.
Stop
and you know what it is as well? It's funny because a lot is said regarding like Villa and Emery's play style, but Villa are also capable of going to a place and just making it difficult.
But bro, this is my issue with Villa though, is that I don't know what to expect. Because sometimes with Villa, I always battle between Villa a high pressing, high line team, or are they a low block hit you on a counter team? Because I feel like they do both.
Like, Emery can switch it up, bro. Yeah, he can switch it up. I think they typically like that high line. Like, do you get me? They do typically like that high line, and yeah, they do like to press, and yeah, that midfield. Like Emery's found a way for things to work because even like Tielemans, like when he initially came, he wasn't really starting like that, and then now he's playing, and a lot of people thought that Tielemans is someone like that. Maybe you want to see like, you don't want to play Tielemans in like a pivot. Like, do you get me?
He's a liability.
He's a liability. Like, yeah, he's a player that you need to put up like a lot of other midfield players around him or whatever. But Emery's been able to find a way to make it work. Like, do you get me? And even like with McGinn, like he'll tuck him in. And yeah, so I think Villa, they're adaptable. Like, do you get me? I think Emery's a very adaptable manager. Like, again, even in that the game against Bayern, it's like, yeah, he also showed in that game, he knows how to say, all right, cool, guys, we need to be resolute here. Do you get me? We need to make sure that, like we're not conceding too many chances, etc.
But again, bro, that's the kind of performance that would give me more confidence of Villa going and getting something. But I feel like I've been scarred with Villa a couple of times now, where like I've expected that performance and then they don't play that way. I feel that's why it's so hard to call.
You know what one of the best examples is? Remember last season, bro? They faced City and Arsenal in the space of a few days. City game, they got City off the park.
Yeah.
And then the Arsenal game was much more. They started well, got the goal, and then afterwards they said, guys, we're a bit tired. Let's be resolute. And literally, that was in the space between of a few days, bro. Like
the Spurs game last year, bro. I said Spurs. There's no way Spurs go to Villa Park and pick up all the points. I see Spurs go with beat them 4-1. I said, how? Bro. What happened?
Yeah,
what happened, Villa?
Yeah,
what happened? Like, so I feel like they're so hard to call in terms of what they're gonna bring on the day. I think is my issue with Villa sometimes. I think again, the one team that has shown us, like in terms of a way to maybe affect this slot team, has been Forest, in terms of just making it really difficult for them. Like, so again, if they approach it that way, that gives me more confidence. And if they try and do machine for machine, I think at Anfield they get cooked in that game, man. I don't know where you kind of stand on the midfield as well, because like you were kind of alluding to Tielemans, I've also been like one of my friends. He also has like a point. I don't know where you stand on this one. Like I guess McAllister, as good as he is as well with Gravenberch, I guess with Sabazza, like do you see like maybe Villa's midfield with a Onana or with a Rodgers and their legs and their power maybe being an issue for Liverpool in this game? Like in terms of the midfield battle, do you have any thoughts on that?
Potentially. I think Villa got a good midfield, so yeah, like I rate Villa's midfield, but I also rate Liverpool's midfield, and I think they've got like enough technically savvy ballers there. Whereas, like I think at Anfield, I feel like they should be able to manage. Me personally. Like, I think they should be able to manage. But yeah, Villa definitely do have enough like to pose a threat. Like, yeah, so that's gonna be again, it's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah. So yeah, bro. Honestly, I don't know how to call this one, man. This is why I'm very happy that this is your prediction first. So I think this is one I'm gonna just be, I'm gonna be safe with. So yeah, you let us know what we're predicting, bro.
Okay. I'm going for a Liverpool 2-1 win. I think
I actually was thinking that.
Yeah, I can see Villa scoring. But I think, yeah, man, with how Liverpool have been playing, their performances, their results, it's hard for me to not see Liverpool getting the win, especially because they know that Arsenal are facing Chelsea. They know out of form City, like, yeah, they're gonna obviously the City and Brighton game would have happened beforehand, so they would have known the result there anyway. But I think just generally with how City are playing, like, and then obviously with Arsenal facing Chelsea, I think there's gonna be a real incentive where it's like, you know what, we need to get the win, because I think after this, I believe it's Southampton, and then yeah, like I'm not sure exactly when. I can't remember if it's after that game or the game after that where they've got City. But yeah, I think they're gonna basically they will be wanting.
They have Real Madrid before they have City, boy.
Yeah, okay, Real Madrid then City. Yeah. But you know what it is?
But
even in that Real Madrid match, I think that's not too much of a problem because they've won all their Champions League matches. Like, do you get me? Yeah, like they're not. Like,
are they still top? I think last time I saw the table, the champs, they were top.
Yeah, I think they're top. Yeah, I think they're top. Like, so yeah, like I don't think it's that much of a for them. Like, me personally, like, yeah, Liverpool are top with 12 points. If anything, that game is bigger for Madrid.
Yeah,
Madrid are 18 with 6 points. Like, Madrid don't want to be losing that. Like, do you get me? But yeah, I think with Liverpool, like, yeah, not saying they're not going to take it serious, but they're in a good position in the Champions League. So yeah, like, I think with just everything online, man, with everything on the line, I think they will get it done. Because yeah, looking at the fixtures now, it's Villa, then they got Southampton, then next Premier League match after that is City at Anfield. So yeah, I think they'll be wanting to go into that match with 2 wins, and then they're hoping that, I think City have got Brighton and then they've got Spurs. They'll be hoping that City can maybe drop points somewhere with how they've been playing. Obviously, Arsenal have got Chelsea. They're hoping Arsenal can drop points maybe. And then if they go into that City match with a little bit of a gap, they know if they win, then it can be looking real serious. But even with a draw, like, yeah, if they can maintain the gap, then things might be looking good for them. So I just think, yeah, man. Like, but at the same time, Villa are not a joke. And like you said,
it's a tough
Villa,
game, man.
Because Villa as well, if they set up correctly, they've got enough quality where,
bro, that Brighton in that first half against Liverpool gave them
they were cooking.
They gave them real problems in that first half.
Brighton were cooking. Brighton were cooking. Like, do you get me? So it's just like, even in the Chelsea match, like, do you get me? I think you saw there, like, where it's like Liverpool, they can be got at. Like, so it's not like, yeah, they can't be got at. But yeah, man, I think I'm just going to go with everything on the line with how well they've been playing. Slot as well. I'm giving him a lot of credit because I think his in-game management has been brilliant. And I think even if things aren't going their way, I can see him just making the right changes and making the right adjustments to, like, yeah, get them over the line. And then, yeah, man, bruv, when you've got this Salah guy just cutting in and finessing it into the top corner, bruv, then what are you going to do about that? So, yeah, man, at some point, tactics go out of the window and quality shines through. So, yeah, man. So, I'll go Liverpool 2-1.
Nah, I hear, and to be fair, I was again, man. If I wanted to go with what I guess sometimes I battle with what I want and what I think is gonna happen. Like I would love for Villa to go and get something in that game, man. Like it's not a point. I'll take it, man. But yeah, I think the smart money is on a narrow Liverpool win. So I'm gonna go 2-1 as well. But yeah, I was kind of battling with whether if Villa do set up correctly. I think I wouldn't also be shocked if Villa can go there and leave with a point at least. I feel like because yeah, again too, man. Like I think these are games that are also hard to call where a team is in bad run of form, but you know they're objectively a good team and they have to rise eventually. And Liverpool have been in really good form. And do they just continue just winning all of these matches, or do they slip up at some point as well? So. Boy, we'll find out this weekend, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be an interesting game to see what happens in it. So, so yeah, bro. Moving on, you touched on them just now, and I think the next game that we have to go on to is definitely our struggling Man City team, man. We saw in the last game Bournemouth beat and break their 32-game unbeaten league streak. And then after that, we then saw them go to Sporting and get absolutely slapped by Gyökeres and Amorim. So yeah, they're not in a really good place. Before that, we saw them lose to Spurs. So yeah, they're really not in a good place. 3 in a row. That's another team that's lost 3 in a row. So and now they're going up against a Brighton team that honestly with Brighton as well, I think they're giving me a bit more confidence as well, man. I think early on in the season they were looking much shakier. I don't know why. I feel like now they seem, I don't know if you agree, to just maybe
a little bit more
looking
solid.
more solid and more consistent. And objectively, they have very good players. City, what they've shown us is if you have pace, if you can hit them on a break, you can really hurt them. I look at Minte. I look at what's his name, Matoma. I look at, I think, João Pedro now that's fit again. I look at Welbeck that's in good form, and I say Brighton have more than enough tools to hurt City. But then I then say City surely cannot make it 4 losses in a row, bro. What are you thinking about this game?
You know what it is with City? I think, obviously, they've not played well this season. And I think, you know, sometimes when you're coming up against teams like City who have won title after title and you know how good they are, I think sometimes it takes a minute for teams to actually get the confidence. Get the confidence. So it's just like because they know that, if we normally they're conditioned to think if we try this, we're gonna get blamed. Like, do you get me? Like, that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get blamed. So then, it takes a minute. It's almost like, you know, when you're fighting, you're not fighting prime Tyson. Do you get me? You're fighting old Tyson, but you've grown up on prime Mike Tyson. So when you've grown up
highlights,
so when you've grown up on prime Mike Tyson, you're like, no, I'm not trying a thing. Well, I'm gonna be very safe. Like, do you get me?
Outside.
Do you get me? And then afterwards, it's like you just throw one punch and then you see him wobble. And you're like, oh, what? This isn't the same Tyson. What? I can go for it. And then afterwards, the next opponent sees that and they're like, oh, okay, this is what we're working with. And I think with City, it will be interesting to see how other teams approach them now, because I think, you know, people have really teams have really given them trouble. Again, we spoke about Fulham, but Bournemouth now, they actually won the match. Like, do you get me? They put them to the sword. It could have been more. And now a team like Brighton, a team who like to play football, who like to have a goal, like, it's going to be interesting to see, like, if their eyes really light up here And they're like, you know what, bruv?
This is a scout.
Bournemouth has shown us. Yeah. Bournemouth has shown us. These guys, they're not the guys that were there. Like, they're wounded.
Do you get me? The man, bro.
Rodri's injured, and it's just like, and you know what? We don't know how long this is gonna last. But whilst this is the case, we're coming at you. Do you get me? We're coming at bro. Sometimes people talk about aura and etc. But bro, it's a thing in football. It's a bit,
bro. Van Dijk wasn't getting dribbled past because people were avoiding him, bro. People were avoiding him.
Bro, I remember, fam. I remember like when people started to figure out, bro, United just aren't good anymore, bro. Like, just bro, they're coming to OT. Yeah, they're coming to OT.
They said, "What? Bro, we haven't won in 100 years. This will be the year."
Smoke them, bro. I said, Fergie's not here no more, bro. What are you talking about? Smoke them. The respect is gone, bro. And then when people start getting brave, then it can get scary. So I think City, they're looking at that again. It's the same with Walker. Like, even just individual players, people aren't looking at Walker the same, bro. Do you get me? They're not looking at him and thinking, oh, this is the Walker that, you know, do you get me? You really don't want to get in a 1v1 battle with. Like, do you get me? They're looking at it and they're saying, all right, like, do you get me? They're not looking at that City midfield with fear. Do you get me? They're saying, all right, they're looking at Haaland. They're saying, we know you're an absolute goal machine. Yeah,
well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut off your service.
Yeah, exactly. But you need the ball, bro. So if you don't have the ball, bro, do you get me? Then you're not a problem. Do you get me? We need to just make sure you don't get the ball. That's the thing. We know in the penalty area, if you get on the end of things, then yeah, it could be really problematic. But if we can cut off the supply, if we can try and make sure that you're not seeing the ball, then yeah, man, then it's gonna be a real problem. So I think this type of thing always happens with like teams. But that being said,
yeah.
This is Pep.
Yep.
And this is Man City. So that was a fun little segment.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a fun little segment.
Brighton fans, I'm
it was a fun little segment.
Now back to reality.
But this is Pep and this is Man City. The boy looks like he's back.
But that's the way it comes at some point.
Yeah, man. And you know what it is? I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a good game because I do think Brighton are going to go for it. Naturally, they're going to play their football. And City they've not been great this season, and they definitely can be got at. But yeah, man, with this City team, I think when they've just lost 4-1 to Sporting, when they've lost to Bournemouth, when they lost to Spurs in the cup, bro, like, funnily enough, even though they've lost 3 in a row, if I was Brighton, on one side I'll be confident, but on the other side I'll be worried, man, because I know this guy Pep. I know he's in the dressing room, and I don't know what he's thought of to try and inspire these players. Do you get me? Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what. I saw I think Haaland put out a tweet after the Sporting loss talking about something like I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of man, like, you know, you can go through hard bits, moments, etc. But it was looking like man was saying, "I'll be back." Like, do you get me? I'll even try to
pull it up.
Pull it up.
Because he's another one that he needs to also wake up to, man. Even that penalty, you know what's so crazy is that even when he stepped up to him, I don't know why I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe in this guy to put this. I don't. You know when a player is just in a bad run of form, that you don't believe
things are going. Because even with Haaland, even when we're talking about supply and stuff, he has had chances in these last few games.
Yeah.
And man, normally where it's like he's putting them away, he's not been. But his tweet was, "Oh, only one way to move on from last night: work even harder and come back fighting from this." And man, I just know Pep.
Yeah,
I just know this guy.
The team is gonna get slapped.
Yeah, man. I just know this guy, man. I've known, bruv. Do you get me? I told you we're talking about Barcelona. It goes back to 2009, bro, when I had Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta just terrorizing my team, bro. Like, do you get me? So I know this Pep guy, bro. He's not normal. So whilst logically, bro, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm going off just pure just logic, form, everything. I actually think Brighton should be winning this. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually agree.
But bro, there's
Yeah,
just something there.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
know,
thinking,
you know what it is too is that we also need Brighton too to also get their chances, get their goals. I mean, that's a big mistake a lot of teams have been making against City leading up to the Bournemouth game. Is that City have been living dangerous and they weren't being punished. But again, if you don't finish your chances and you're still letting Haaland get some chances, then boy, they will leave with all 3 points. They will leave with all 3 points. That's just what's gonna happen. It doesn't matter whether you played better, you had more chances, you were dangerous, you were threatening on the break. They will leave with all 3 points. And I think ultimately that's the issue with that Brighton having this game. That they have to really be on point as well to make sure that regardless of how the form City are in now, that when they're on top, they get the goals they need to get. Because if you let City stay in the game in remotely any shape or form, they will punish you. And I think that's the reality of it.
And bro, I think the De Bruyne thing is massive. Like, I think it's absolutely massive because you know how we spoke about Salah, and you know you can rely on Salah, and season in, season out, he's gonna come and he's gonna deliver. You see with De Bruyne, as De Bruyne's gotten older, you know he's gonna have these spells where he's injured and he's not gonna be available and etc. But bro, all this guy needs to give you is a good 12, 15 games, bro. Bro, you just need him. They just need him to turn up when they need him, bro. Like, do you get me? Just when they're struggling, they just need it. Remember last season when De Bruyne came back, like, do you get me? Against Newcastle and had that debut. And bro, you saw what he did. And he's just one of them players where it's just like, you don't even need him for like, you don't need them for like the whole like season to be delivering. But just, I think this is the type of moment where you're looking at De Bruyne and you're thinking, yeah, man, like you come on. And I think the knock-on effect it has is that De Bruyne playing automatically makes Haaland better. Because, you know, when we're talking about cutting off the supply, De Bruyne's gonna put in balls where you just can't cut off the supply. Like, you get me? He's just gonna put that's the type of quality he has. Like, he's just gonna play balls where it's just like there's nothing you can do about it. So it's just like, and Haaland, he's got great enough movement where it's like you're not even gonna see it coming. Do you get me? Before you know it, do you get me? You're looking, and then before you know it, it's the ball's in the back of the net, and you're like there. Then also the knock-on effect I think that has with like someone like a Foden, for example, even their other attacking players. Like, I think, man, like that can change a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily change the defense.
That's a massive problem.
And it doesn't necessarily change like that central
midfield as
area.
Well.
That's it. Because I think Kovacic, he's trying. Like, do you get me? Like, he's trying to, but like Gundogan, he's come back. He's not looking like the Gundogan that we all knew. Like, so yeah, man. Like, it goes without saying they're missing Rodri, and we'll see what they do in January. But yeah, they've also got like enough quality where they are gonna start scoring goals again. Things are gonna start clicking again. Like, do you get me? It might not be perfect, but yeah, like those chances which are falling to Haaland, which he's not been able to take, he's gonna start taking them. Like, so yeah, man, should be a very interesting game. Very, very interesting.
So game. Yeah, all of that said, I'm going 2-1 Man City.
I hear it.
That is 2-1 Man City.
I hear it.
Where you going with this one?
I am even gonna 3-1 it.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna 3-1 it.
Yeah, I hear it.
I
actually hear
it.
that.
Yeah, man.
I was tempted, but I said I don't want to swing too far.
I think 2-1's sensible. I think 2-1's very sensible.
So let's see what they can do, man. Because they need to wake up, man. Because like you said, Liverpool can really run away with this league if Arsenal and City are not careful very, very quickly. So, boy, we'll talk about it. We'll see. But yeah, bro, swiftly moving on to the next fixture. You know, this one, because of all your trolling recently, I was so tempted to make this the first game that we speak about because I think this is a real 6-pointer. You know, I see Leicester 2 points off Man United. I said, whew, this is very threatening, you know. So, you know, bro, I had to, but then again, I say, you know, there's bigger games that we have to talk about first. So I'll let you talk about this one, whether you're worried at all, whether you think you guys can get the win. Talk about it.
bro.
Talk to me.
I told you, man. Days before Amarim, bro. Bro, I told you these few games, bro. It's literally just I've just been there. I've just been, hey, man. Do you get me? We got Rude in the dugout. Do you get me? Hey, man. We love Rude. Do you get me? Legend. He's doing his thing. So we're just like, all right, man. Hopefully you can finish off by getting a win for us. Obviously, he got the win in the cup against Leicester, got the draw against Chelsea, obviously won yesterday, and then yeah, man, like we're hoping
he
that
did a decent job, to be honest.
yeah, we're hoping all we wanted him to do. The performances haven't been great. Like, do you get me? Like all we wanted him to, like, you know, you're there, just try steady things a bit. And yeah, man, literally, like United fans, the atmosphere would have been very different if we're like there's so much uncertainty and we don't know what's going on and whatever. But because we know who's going to be our next manager, we all know what the situation is. We know that ideally Amarim would have came in sooner, and we know that even from his side, like I think he ideally would have wanted to stay to the end of the season. Do you get me? So even being able to get him now, like, do you get me? Like, we've done well. So we knew for these few games it's going to be interim settings. We know Amarin's coming during the international break. So yeah, man, like we can't really, like, again, like I said, I think it's more so been just an opportunity to look at certain players and like say, okay,
do you have any more definitive I guess opinions and players over this period? Has anyone stood out in good and bad ways, I guess?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've learned anything that I didn't know already. Like, yeah, I'll actually be very honest. Like, yeah, I don't think there's anything that I didn't know already. Like, it never took for what happened yesterday with Ahmad for me to think, yeah, that Ahmad should be playing. Like, yeah, I don't think, yeah, there's literally anything new. So I think, yeah, when Amarin comes in now, and then we'll see what he's doing with the formation. That's when, like you said, you mentioned it. You're just like, man, I need Amarim to come in so there could be jeopardy again. Because yeah, currently right now, bro, yeah, man, I told you days before Amarim, I'm just floating. Do you get me? I'm just floating. I'm just floating. Do you get me? Like, I can't get angry at Ten Hag. Let that man rest, bro. Do you get me? Like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. I don't have no like personal issue with Ten Hag, man. Like, do you get me? Like, obviously he wasn't the right man for the job. He needed to go. He's gone now. Do you get it? Like, thanks for the 2 trophies. Amarim, he's not here yet. Obviously, we watched Sporting Lisbon. Do you get me? All the United fans, we were all Sporting Lisbon fans for a night. We saw the 4-1 City. I think Amarim said it himself. Do you get me? He said, "Oh, if I win, they're gonna say that I'm Sir Alex Ferguson." Like, do you get me? Like, he's been very like conservative and he's played things down. And I think even when talking about Pep, he was just like, yeah, you know, very complimentary of Pep, and he's aware of the situation that Man United are in. Like, even in the game against City, he was just like, yeah, we also got very lucky. Like, do you get me? So yeah, man, we know he's gonna come in. He's got a job to do. We got to give him a bit of time. There's going to be a lot of changes for this game. Literally, it is important because I think just points wise, we just want to like accumulate more, so when Amarim takes over, like, we're just in a better position. Like, I think that's literally what it is. So I think this game is actually just about the result. Like, yeah, like, do you get me? Like, you know how I was talking about the Arsenal game? I was like, the Arsenal game is a lot to do. Like, Arsenal need a performance because obviously it could be a momentum shifter with Arteta and etc. I think this game, because we know this is no indicator, we can play brilliantly, and then afterwards, Amarin's going to come in and he's going to change formation. He's going to change players. He's going to change tactics. Do you get me? So this game is we just need the points. Literally, we need the points. So yeah, man, that's literally what it is. Yeah, need a win. Really need a win. We're 13th. So
boy, that's what I was saying, bro. I said Leicester are 50. So boy, if they beat you as well, they leapfrog you. So,
a loss just gives Amarim just even more work to do as regards to like him climbing up the table. So yeah, So yeah, man, I don't think there's really that much to it with this one. Just get the win, please,
No, I
guys.
hear it. I hear it. That's fair. You want to kick off the prediction for this game then?
Yeah. I'm gonna predict a United win, but I'm just trying to think scoreline wise because United can concede a goal, man, and we've not been free flowing with like us scoring. I'm tempted to go 2-1 United. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 2-1 United.
All right, cool. I hear it, and yeah, no, I've also gone 2-1 United. I think you guys will win as well. I think it'll be narrow, but I think you guys will win. So and it's at OT, so yeah. I think I'm a lock in 2-1 as well. I expect you guys to have enough to beat Leicester. I'm Maroon. So yeah, bro. All right, cool. That is that fixture. Then we got a few more fixtures that will kind of fly through. I guess this one we can talk about this a little bit more. I think it's not, again, this is not that interesting of a game, I feel like, maybe on paper. But again, I know McKenna's your guy. I haven't actually watched much of Ipswich since their first game against Liverpool. So I'm actually interested to just watch this match to see how they perform. Because I was looking at their form, I was looking at their points. I was like, bro, we're 10 games in and they haven't won a game yet. Which I was like, that's crazy. So, boy, I don't think this is going to be the game they're going to win either, because they're going to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, this is going to be very, very difficult for them. So, yeah, my question for you on this one was just maybe, because I'm seeing that Spurs, they seem to maybe be having a little bit of an injury crisis on their side too, defensively anyway, where Van der Ven is out. Romero looks like he's still a doubt whether he will play or not. Like, I think Son, they're managing his minutes, just, again, extra context. But I think from a defensive point of view now, where they could really go into this game without both their first choice in the backs, which now means it's like Dragic and Davies. And I'm watching that Galatasaray game, I said, boy, obviously there's a lot more changes in the team. The midfield was completely different. It was a much weaker team. But even with their strong teams, I think they give up chances. So my question to you was just more whether, from what you've seen of Ipswich, do you think they can pose a big enough threat to make this game uncomfortable for Spurs? Is my question.
I feel like they'll give it a go, and I think they'll definitely have some chances, but I can't see Spurs not winning this, to be honest. Yeah, that's long story short. I think Solanke, like, he's like in good form, like he's picked up some goals, like even in the loss against Galatasaray was able to get on the score sheet. So yeah, like I think he'll be feeling confident. I think Son, like I know they're managing his minutes, but he's back. I think he'll probably only just get sharper. Kulu's been playing very well.
Been good.
Star's been good. Madison's got a point to prove. Johnson's still like popping up with the goals. So yeah, I think obviously they do have like some defensive concerns, but I can't see Spurs not winning this personally.
No, I hear it. And no, I completely agree. I think this game is just more about, can Ipswich pose a big enough threat where it just won't be a comfortable Spurs win. I think it's more. But I think, I agree that Spurs will win this game too. I don't know whether have you also watched more of Ipswich? Like, what's your kind of opinion on them so far this season based on what you've seen?
I think it was always going to be tough for them. Like, obviously, when you're coming from the Championship into the Premier League, then it's always a big jump. And like I think they do have like something about them as regards to like being able to create opportunities and score goals. Like the lad from City, the lap, like I know he's come and he's done well for them. But man, again, with like a lot of promoted sides, like they be conceding, man. Like, do you get me? And looking at the table, like when you look at the goal difference of the bottom three, Ipswich -11, Southampton -12, Wolves -13, and man, like when you look at the goals against, like Ipswich, they've got 21 goals against. The only team that's conceded more is Wolves. So I think that's the thing, man. Like they're just going to give up chances. So I think that's going to be a problem for them. Like, yeah. So, yeah, man. Shout out McKenna and that, but yeah, it's not. It's not. It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard.
No, I hear it, and I completely agree, man. I think for this one, I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Spurs win because I think I can see Ipswich. I think and the lap is good. I think they do, from what I've seen anyway, make chances. I think I can see Spurs conceding, but I also think I think Spurs will get goals in this game, especially the fact that they're home too. So I don't think it's gonna be a pretty day for Ipswich in this one. But yeah, bro, how do you see this one going? What's your prediction?
Bro, I'm actually gonna say the same, but I don't like it. There's too much. We've gone the same for like.
But actually, the Arsenal Chelsea game, the Villa Liverpool game, I guess City Brighton was a bit different. United Leicester. So that's mean the only difference is the City Brighton game.
I'm a go 3-1 for Spurs. For this game, can I change United Leicester?
Yeah, go on. We didn't change
just for jeopardy, like because I don't like all this samey, and I think if there's one that I should change, it would be the team that I support. Let me go for 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Calm. Yeah, I hope this week. And last time that you wanted to change, I didn't let you. You punished me, so I'm hoping this time. I'll be played yourself.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
So the final couple games before we kind of fly into just a quick FPL before we round up the stream, bro. This was an interesting one that I thought we should touch on, man. Is Forest Newcastle, because I said, boy, I was thinking about this game and I said, normally you'd be thinking, can Forest deal with Newcastle's threat? But I think in this game was saying, can Newcastle deal with Forest's threat, bro? Because Forest have been flying this season. So I think this should be an interesting game just to see which way it goes, bro. You know what spun my head this one in this one? I looked at the table and I said, Nottingham Forest are third.
Yeah,
Premier League table.
Yeah, bro.
Nuno Espirito has them third.
Bro, that's why when I said, bro, after Chelsea, bro, Forest are going to the Emirates. That's a massive game for you guys, bro. You think I was just saying that, bro? Bro, those are your title competitors, bro.
Crazy.
Bro, big Forest
battle.
Hey, you just put respect on their name, bro. 2 European Cups. Hey, man, gotta respect them. 2 European Cups. I know you don't know much about that. Put some respect. Put some respect on Nottingham Forest. Nuno is cooking, man. Obviously, he got manager of the month. Chris Wood got player of the month. Deserved. Like, they've been cooking. And you know what as well, I was gonna mention this. I think I want to shout out 2 teams, but Forest and Fulham. Bro, the vibes in like the dressing rooms just look so lit, bro. Like they just look like they're just enjoying playing their football.
Jumping tunes.
Bro, bro. Like they look like they're having so much fun. Like I saw one video and I think it was after the Fulham 2-1 win against Brentford. Like, do you get me? And these like, man, they look like they've got really like good squads, like chemistry. Like, do you get me? I think even like Harry Wilson, I call him Olua Harry and that. Like, do you get me? And the thingy. And then I think similar with like the Forest boys like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Elanga and Anya. Like I think, like they've got like a real good like environment. Like, and man, I think that's probably had like an influence. Obviously, it's much more than just environment that will dictate like how well you're playing on the football pitch. Like ultimately your football will do the talking. But man, like, I think they've got like they've created good environments and they're playing well. Like, do you get me? And like Fulham have been playing well, but Forest, they're playing well. And bro, they're just so hard to score against. I think that's the thing as well. They're hard to score against and they've just got enough quality up top, whereas like they're also gonna cause you problems. So man, like bro, I'm looking at this. They have got the second best. Liverpool have conceded 6, which is the lowest amount in the league, and then after that is Forest with 7.
Yup.
Like, yeah, bro. I'm looking at the rest of. I'm looking at City. They conceded 11.
Bro, they have a
Chelsea
better goal.
conceded 12.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Arsenal conceded 11. Villa 15. United 12. Like, do you get, bro? Brentford 20. Brentford.
Bro, they've actually flipped the script.
Bro.
We'll talk about them, but they've completely they said, "What you think I'm playing boring football?"
Bro, Brentford has scored 19. They conceded 20. These lot have just been just machine for machine. But yeah, Forest, man. Like, they're hard to beat. They're hard to break down. This Sells guy. Oh, bro, in FPL, man, he's been jarring me, bro. He just keeps on keeping these clean sheets, bro.
Nah, he's quality, man. Hey, even that Chelsea game, this guy was moving wild in that match.
Gosh,
so yeah, no, he's a good keeper.
But yeah, man, shout out Forest, man. And Newcastle, obviously, they've not been great this season, but they picked things up, man. Like, they've picked things up. Obviously, they got the win in the League Cup, which I know is really important to them because, like, yeah, winning a trophy, I know that's something that Newcastle fans, like, they're really desperate for. So that's a massive win for them, beating Chelsea. And then obviously, yeah, they beat Arsenal. Isak is scoring again. Gordon's consistently a problem. So yeah, and obviously Wood used to play for Newcastle as well. So it's like there's that dynamic to things. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, man. Interesting one.
Hey, man. So let us know, man.
Bro,
how do you see this one going? What's your prediction?
I am going for 1-1.
You know what's so crazy? Is that I went for 1-1. That's actually crazy.
I looked at it, I was just like, with Forest's defense, I just can't see it being that high scoring. But also Newcastle are good enough to get a goal. And I think Forest will score. So I just have to, it has to be 1-1.
But now I'm thinking, you know what? For Jeopardy, I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Oh, all right, nice.
I'm going to go 2-1. I'm just to mix it up a little bit. Just because, yeah, man, again, with these teams at Forest, man, eventually, I always think eventually. Okay. The chickens have to roost, bro. The chickens.
They have to balance out.
Eggs they have to hatch. How can you be third in the Premier League? Ow. People had them third from bottom. People had them relegated and they're third right now. Man. So now, fair play to them, man. You know he's absolutely cooking. But yeah. Newcastle, from what I saw, I think Isak is starting to get goals now. Gordon's a massive threat. Newcastle also have a really solid defense. But yeah. I'm gonna go just for the. I'm going just for the quality of Newcastle on paper. Forest have been a much better team this season. So clearly, as the league form shows, but I'm gonna go for 2-1 just to mix it up a little bit.
No, it makes sense.
We'll see how that one goes. And then moving on to the final fixture of the prediction that we're gonna talk about. Is this again, bro? I like throwing in these random games that there's mid-table clashes that I think are so hard to call. That is just, boy, which way do you see this one going?
Bremo versus Semenyo.
Oh, Semenyo, bro. The battle of the unks. The unks. So yeah, man. Yeah, and fair play to Boom, like you said in the last stream, like, bro, these lot went against Arsenal, took 3 points. Villa took a point. City took 3 points. I even saw Iriola saying, bro, even we were shocked. We didn't expect to take 7 points from all those games. I said, boy, fair enough, innit? Like they absolutely cooked during those tougher fixtures. So now it's gonna be interesting where again it's a tough fixture. I think even Iriola was saying that, boy, this is not a game that we're looking forward to. It's gonna be very difficult going to Brentford and continuing their form. So, boy, man, I don't know how you see this one going, bro.
This is a tough one, man. Like I said, Brentford, like, who are typically known being very difficult to beat, etc. They've just said we're having fun this season. That's what we're doing. Like, do you get me? So it's just like, yeah, and then they've got quality. We've spoken about it in Mbeumo, bro. You know how much I rate Mbeumo, man. I've been backing this guy. I said when Tony went, I said, bro, there's Mbeumo. When Whistle was injured, I said, I hear it, but there's Mbeumo.
You did.
So it's like, yeah, but Whistle coming back is big for them as well now, because it's like now you've got like two big problems. And also, like, they've also got other good players in that team. Like, so, yeah. And then Bournemouth, yeah, man. Good manager. They got some good players there. Spoken about Semenyo, Ivan Nilsson. Like, we can see if he can continue to get on the score sheet. So yeah, man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough game to predict. It's reminding me of like the Brentford Fulham one that like you did last week. I was like,
who do you edge?
I was indecisive. Like, I was like, I currently don't know what I'm gonna like. Draw, Brentford win, or Bournemouth win. I currently don't know which one I'm gonna go for. So I'm gonna let you predict first. And then
I'm gonna go with this one first. And I've really gone both ways. And you know how much I really rate Bournemouth too. I love how they play football. I think Iriel is a really good manager. We've spoken about that caliber of manager that I think should be making that next step up. When the next round of sackings eventually for this like top 10 group of managers go, I think these are the man that should be strongly looking to take those positions. Like it's actually a really nice place where we are now with managers. I remember the years as well where there was this cycle of just these dead, finished, washed managers that were just still getting jobs just based on previous reputation. Whereas I feel like now there's like more like the younger, the Areolas. That I know he hasn't been great so far this season, but remind me of his name, please. The Wolves manager.
Oh, Gary O'Neill.
I
really like Marco Silva.
We've spoken about him too. So there's that next caliber of manager that I think should be knocking on a door if any of the teams in that top 10 are looking for something else, man. So yeah, man. But I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna edge Brentford in this one, man. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brentford. I think I'm gonna give them the home advantage, and I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Brentford.
You know what? I think I'm gonna match it there. Yeah. Just that again. It's the funnily enough, if it was at Bournemouth, then I think I'd have went 2-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think it's partially why I just edged Fulham last time. I was just like, it's at Craven Cottage, and I was just like, I'm just gonna give Fulham the edge. So I think it's a similar thing here, but I'm just gonna give Brentford the edge, like just because Brentford are at home. But should be a good game, man.
Should be a very good game. Should be a very good game. So man. So we love it, man. So all in all, it should be a very interesting Premier League weekend. And we'll circle back and see what the impact of these predictions has on the prediction table. Because I think right now you're 6 points ahead of me. So I really need to start clearing up with some correct decisions. So I've gone for some risky ones, but hopefully it doesn't hurt me.
Man. Sometimes you just again, it's paid off for me quite a few times. So I'll just say, hey man, I'm just gonna go different. And then man, you live with the results.
Hey man, listen.
So
it's facts. So bro, I think that was really good. And then the final thing for the stream today, everyone who's still here, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And then we just want to do a quick FPL roundup just to see how that's going. So I'm going to just share my screen and just get that up. And then we'll talk about it and get into it. Share screen, window. And we're going to go here. Bring that up so you can see that, bro. So as always, this guy has just been. I see your no products is matched you. We'll talk about it. But man, he's been keeping this top spot for a while now, man. Vendi Labukayo, I don't know how many weeks it's been now, but he saw something that a lot of people didn't see. Because I've seen a lot of people now, and I will talk about my team. You have decided to go no Haaland. And boy, he's a trendsetter because he's been doing this from way back. So fair play to him, man. Clearly he's been working out, which is why he's still top. Still doing very well. So he got 49 points this week, which is good. I think it's always good to see what the average points are. As long as he beat that, I think it's been a decent week. But below that, then boy, you're struggling. And I've been there very recently. So looking at his team, I don't know if there's anything interesting that stands out to you. I guess first thing I'm seeing that I see Rodgers on the bench. I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. That would have been, I guess, disappointing. But I can see why he went for Mbeumo. I think, you know what's so tough though in FPL sometimes, bro? It's like when you have like a player like Mbeumo that's so expensive that it's hard to also bench those players. Then you feel like, do I really want to play that cost me this much to not be in my starting lineup in this game? So making that decision sometimes is really difficult. So
it's funny because it's literally like, again, I've spoken about this before with one of my friends, but like when you've got a deep squad, then it's almost like you are a manager, you're gonna have selection headaches. Like, yeah, when you're just like, oof, and then you're thinking who should I play, etc. So yeah, there's always gonna be those decisions to make.
It's facts. Yeah, and seeing I see Cunha. I think that was a player that I brought into you. I'll talk about it, but yeah, obviously Wolves look like they're going to a good run of fixtures finally after their very, very tough start to the season. So I think he's been a really popular player. I've seen a lot of people discussing to bring in. I think Jimenez is another one based on Fulham's good form. He looks like he's snatched that shirt off Muniz right now, and he's been in very good form. So I can see why he's gone there. Foden probably has to be a big disappointment so far this season, man. Because I know you're a really big fan of Foden too, bro. And this is one thing I will say about Foden sometimes is it's similar to what I was saying about like with rival fans, where it's like you pick and choose who you want to give energy to. And I feel like Foden really does get away with performing poorly. That the same way I feel like I can say from like a Saka point of view, if he was in the same run of form, there will be so much more said about it than ever gets said about Foden. So that's just one thing I wanted to kind of highlight.
You know why generally I think Foden will get away with it more?
Why?
It's because I think Foden's bad performances a lot of the time, there's less jeopardy for City. So it's like, whereas I think if Saka goes on a really bad spell for Arsenal, then Arsenal are in real trouble.
No, it's true. It's true.
So I think that's why like it gets highlighted a lot more. Again, but Foden's benefited from like growing into a team which has like several world-class players around him. So my man's out here was playing with David Silva, KDB. I'm like, bro,
you had the kindness. We're talking about young players being thrown into the wilderness, thrown in and saying, "Save us, save us." Nah, he's definitely been pampered. That's one thing that I guess gets held against him. And sometimes I feel like these are the kind of times where I think it's a justified criticism sometimes, where it's just like I feel like a lot of other players cannot get away with this because, like you said, there's a lot more pressure on them being the guys for their teams. Like we said, De Bruyne is back now. And in this gap that De Bruyne has been out, Foden definitely hasn't softened the blow the way he did last year when De Bruyne was out. So we'll see how that kind of develops as De Bruyne kind of gets back into full fitness and what that means for, I guess, his position in the team. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that also affects his playing time going forward. What's he called? Bukayo. But so that's an interesting one. And Salah, Salah was a big captain choice this weekend, man. Because again, when you have, like you said, when you're a manager and you have all these players that you can now select as your captain, it makes it even more difficult sometimes to pick who will be the best captain this week. So I think out of the big names, Salah was definitely the right choice based on his eventual points for. So that was interesting. I think Vardy got a goal, and fair play to this guy as well, man. He's as bad as City have been this year. We haven't spoken enough about him being the one shining light in that defense, even defensively and going forward. So really rate him very highly. Gabriel, I've spoken about it. The moment I brought him in, the more when Arsenal went stuck conceding goals, we'll talk about it. So I see that he also didn't get you points, Kyle. I can relate. And Dallo, I'm sure that was you needed money, you needed someone to fit, because I don't know why you bring in a United defender in these times. But you can maybe let us know why. Maybe you saw something that we didn't see. But fair play again to Bukayo, man. Another good week, still top, still holding on to that position. I guess this is interesting. I see Unorthodox I guess you guys are level on points now, but he's above you right now. So just looking at his team. Because I did see, I guess it was it this week? Yeah, it was this week that, I see Unorthodox also went for the wild card, so it's interesting to kind of see that choice and where that's gone. Yeah, I see a lot of like the sell, so he went for the sell, so fair play. That's a big decision for people. That worked out well for you that week. Ain't no reason one that people have gone for in terms of, I guess, he's
attacking threat.
Attacking points potential. It didn't work out for us this week. We'll see whether it's going to work going forward. And I saw Rico. I think for now, while Walker's injured, he's definitely a good shout to have in your team.
Yeah, he's a rotation risk as well, though.
He is a big rotation risk.
Pep said, Pep is
he said that's the one man.
That's the one man that we can't rest. We would like to, but we can't. And then the next match, he benches him.
I love that guy, man. I told you, I love what he took. We're in trouble. We're in so much trouble.
We cannot replace him. We cannot replace him. And then he gets Haaland. We cannot replace him. Nah, man. This guy went drama school. I know he went drama school.
He did. I
know he went drama school.
We can't win the title.
Let's forget about it. Let's forget about it. It's just like, I was. They're so good. So good. They're so good. They're so good. Like,
man, Pepper's hilarious, man. And then I think Wood, he's another one that
this guy, man,
bro, he's been a real problem. I keep thinking eventually this form has to stop. But he just keeps getting goals, man. So fair play, man, for bringing him in. I see Harwood Bellis on the bench. I saw some people try to say, I have Harwood on the bench. I said, stop it. You are never going to play him.
This is what I say,
You are never going to play him.
Some people, man, they're funny.
Oh, mate. So, fair play to Unorthodox. I see you climbed up into second. And then, Major, I see you in third now, still very close.
Hey, it still says second, by the way.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it does. It does. I get, because he got more points this week, is why he's above you. So
I don't know how it works. I think some people said this like points in the week. Some people said it's transfers. Like
okay,
like if who makes least transfers, then they might go above you. I think someone mentioned that to me.
Cool. That's something that we should try.
But I think because he did the wild card, that counts as 0 transfers. I think.
Oh, okay,
okay.
Cool. No, we'll look into that ahead of the next.
But second, third,
but still very close.
Same points.
Anyway, So how did you feel about your kind of FPL week, bro?
It was looking a bit spooky, I'm not gonna lie. Because Salah, I was always gonna captain Salah this week. Like I knew that from last week. But obviously, what probably I underestimated is that everyone brought Salah in. So because Salah was like a differential. Do you get me? But then a lot of people have now got Salah and Palmer as well. But obviously a lot of people have made the play to get rid of Haaland, which I understand. I understand the thingy about it. He costs so much that if you can do without him, especially with these strikers, your Cunhas, your Jimenez's, your Woods, who are also scoring goals, you're seeing Isak there as well, Solanke, so if you can get currently in the form he's in, if you can get a player who's scoring goals, even if it's not exactly to the same rate, but they're so much more cheaper and you can distribute funds across your squad, then I understand that. I think it makes sense. For now, though, I'm keeping Haaland. I'm just you know what? He's Haaland. So,
It's very scary. Each week, I'm panicking.
Yeah.
And I think one hat-trick and it's long.
I think probably where, probably where I maybe had a little bit of the advantage there is that I had I know there's a lot of talk about premium midfielders and etc. I think I had Salah in, Palmer in from quite early, so it's the price points in which I bought them weren't inflated. So it's I never bought Palmer at 11 mil. I bought him at his starting price of 10.5. So Salah, I brought him he was in my squad from game week 1, etc. So I've got a little bit of wiggle room, but this week wasn't looking great, actually, to be fair. Because I said, the Salah captain was going to happen, but a lot of people captain Salah, so that wasn't really a differential. And then going into Sunday, I think, that Rodgers and Kulusevski, that 14 points was needed. That assist from Kulusevski, and obviously Rodgers got the goal and he got the bonus points. But I think if they both 2-pointed, then it would have really not have been a great week. In Buemo, again, he's not really a differential because most people have him. Palmer, a lot of people have got him as well. Trent, no clean sheet, he didn't do that well. Lewis, again, we spoke about him, like with not starting. And Ait Nori, I think, people don't have Ait Nori for the clean sheets. You have him for the attacking threat. Because this guy, he just gets in such high positions where it's just like
I've seen that as a big Amarin potential shout.
Potential, with like wing back. Yeah, it makes sense because of how he plays. So and then I've got the West Ham goalkeepers. Obviously, Fabianski's been playing. But these West Ham lot, fam, they don't keep no clean sheets, man. So I wish I had Cells, to be honest. I wish I had Cells. So that was a smart move by unorthodox change with the wild card, because I think that's a nice keeper to have who's not that expensive. So overall, what did I get? 48. 48 points. Average was 39 points. Calm, steady in it. Like steady. I think I'm 7 points off the lead. Obviously, I'm tired with an orthodox change, but just quite a steady week, I would say.
Nah, I hear it. I guess just talking about my team a little bit as well. If I go to it, so I also wildcarded this week, man. Like I said, man, I've been trolling. I've been very unserious the last few weeks. The one good thing that's now meant for me, I think I'm in a good position when it comes to my transfers. I think I've been able to stock them up as well and wildcarded now. So I feel now flexible to make quick moves going forward. So we'll see whether that strategy works out for me in any way. Because I also have probably waited a bit too long now, where I've now lost ground on, I guess, everyone above me. So I'm definitely going to need more differentials to make up those differences over the coming weeks. So, but I think right now I've gone pretty safe in terms of the typical kind of players. Steady players to keep me relative to everyone else as we kind of go into the next few weeks. I thought about Cells, but then I remember last year, man. I remember what was such a good, I think, move that people made when our defense was actually good was the people that doubled up on the Arsenal defense. Obviously, this year it hasn't worked out in that way, but I'm still hoping
anticipating like an
upturn in Arsenal's form as well defensively. So that's why I went for Raya. Gabriel's still there, massive threat going forward from set pieces. So I'm always going to go for him over Saliba when I'm deciding on those two. Konate was one that I really wasn't sure about. What's it called? Going for, just because. I don't know why. Because again, I'm like, I didn't go for a reason why I definitely didn't go for Trent, because I knew that I didn't believe that Liverpool were gonna keep a clean sheet against Brighton. But then I guess, like you said, after this game against Villa, they do in between have some decent games where if I rotate him in the right times, I can probably pick up some clean sheet points. With Konate in, went for the big midfielders, like you said, because I was falling too far behind, not having the Palmers and Salas in my team anymore. So brought them all in now. And Bremo's probably one again that, I think I definitely probably missed the boat. I want to see how it goes this weekend. Where it's like he's got his points now. So it's like, now is he gonna continue on that form, or do I now need a differential in that position now to help me climb up? So he's definitely one I'm keeping an eye on as a potential. And then like I said, I went for the no Haaland in this team just because I needed to get those midfielders in, and Haaland hasn't been in great form. Until De Bruyne is back, until I'm seeing that he's getting the goals, I can't afford to wait for him to click, basically. And I think I've kept enough transfers in the bank too that if I need to make 2-3 transfers to make it happen, I'll just do what I need to do in it. So we'll see how that kind of goes. I went for him in the Cunha. I was a bit worried about this one because Wissa, I wasn't sure about the Brentford game, so I wasn't sure who to start as my strikers. But all in all, it wasn't really too big a difference. And 50 points, decent week. I think ultimately where I am now is just relatively trying to. I need to get more points than everyone ahead of me, or at least the same points. That's the only way I can climb up the table. So I think as long as I can continue doing that, then it's been decent. So bro. Hopefully, from my point of view, this is the start of fight back in terms of.
I think a big one is going to be the captaincies, isn't it? Because I think like a lot of people now, like they've got Salah, they've got Palmer, they've got Mbeumo's. Obviously, there are differentials here and there, but I think the captaincies, that's gonna be where like people are gonna separate from each other. So man, but very early. Very, very early.
Still a lot to do. So we're gonna see what happens. So yeah, as always, if you are not already in the FPL, then please join the league. Show us how it's done. If you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, then still join. It'll be fun. Like the code to join is going down the screen right now, and it's also in the description. But yeah, bro. Other than that, that is everything that we wanted to get through on this stream. It's been a long one, but I think it's been a good episode, man. Definitely enjoyed the conversations. So, and yeah, so do you have any kind of final words before I wrap up?
Yeah, I'm just like looking forward to a good weekend of football, man. Like, I think like we've mentioned, there's some good games on. So yeah, man, looking forward to just watching. Hopefully, like I said, United can get the win, and like Amarin can take over whilst we've got 3 extra points. Like obviously anything that can make things a little bit easier, because he's got a very, very big job to do. So
what McKenna first game? They're gonna say you went for the wrong guy. You went for the wrong guy.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be like, I think that Europa League game was actually really important. Like we needed to get that win, and then like in the league we do need it would have been nice if, like, I think after like getting a penalty against Chelsea and going 1-0 up, it would have been nice if we could have held out because I think those points would have been really valuable. But yeah, obviously Caicedo scored a really good goal. But yeah, we just really need to get the win, so hopefully we do. But yeah, man, just looking forward to the week, and then there'll be a lot to talk about next time we stream.
Hey man, boy, I'm worried. I'm worried. But yeah, man, but it should be good either way, man. Like you said, like a lot of tough games, and yeah, man, we're gonna learn a lot more about a lot of these teams. So each week we're learning more and more. So but then we'll see where it's going, man. So yeah, from Arsenal point of view, we just need to get back to winning, man. But this is a very tough game, but we need to do what we need to do, man. This is what it means to be in a title race, man. Because I think I remember the days too, man, when there's no jeopardy. Where it's how you win, you lose, it's okay. But now it's like every single game, the moment you drop points, is now total carnage. But that's what it means to be in a title race, right? So,
and bro, you know what I'll say as well is that, like, man, like it can be like stressful, but also it's a rather that than not competing for a title. Like, do you get it? Like, it's one of them ones where it's like, it's funny because it's like when you're like, I think as football fans, like I said in the beginning of the season, the reason why like loads of people are so excited is because you've got hope, you're fighting for something. And that's why for me, like, trophies, they'll always be really important for me, because I hate when it's getting to like the end of the season and there's just like the season just floats away. Like, do you get me? Yeah, like I hate it. Like, do you get me? It floats away. Like, as bad as last season was, of course, it wasn't good enough. But I was happy. It's like, okay, there's a cup final to look forward to. Like, there's something to fight for. Like, do you get me? Like, like, but when you're just there and you're just like, oh, you know what? Well, this has been a horrible season. And do you get me? You're just floating. Like, do you get me? Yeah, man, it's not the one. So whatever your club's aspirations are, like some clubs, their aspiration will be like securing their highest ever finish. Some clubs is avoiding relegation. Some clubs is, do you get me? We want to win this trophy. Some clubs is the title, like whatever it is. But yeah, man, all of this stuff is what's being a football fan's about.
Big
facts.
Man, we love
crazy. It. We have to put our trust in other players,
bro.
We put our trust in other people. And their
make
actions,
or break your weekend.
Their actions determine. Fam, imagine someone else stepped on the pitch and played. And I have to get the flack for it.
God.
I have to get the flack for it.
I'm getting cooked.
Something I have no control over. I have no control over. Hey, man, these footballers, they have heavy responsibility, man.
They do, man.
There's something I have no control over, bro. Fam, imagine your team could just decide to do nonsense, bro, and then you have to go to work and hold that. You have to hold that cord, bro. Do you get me? Fam, crazy, bro. Fam, when United lost 7-0 to Liverpool, bro, it's me. I have to deal with the consequences. Do you get me? I have to deal with the consequences. So yeah, man, it's what being a football fan's about.
Nah, it's
ups
true.
and downs. I didn't go this sick.
Man, you have to do, man.
It's actually
man.
serious.
Oh.
I said me going on. You must be bluffing.
Nah, I
bro,
hear it, man. You have to put yourself first, man.
Bro, honestly,
put yourself
man.
First.
Fam, how can something I have no control over, bro? Fam, you're just there. You're just like, guys, please.
Oh, you don't know what's at stake.
Please, bro. I remember, fam, this is the quickest detail, but I remember that Liverpool game, bro. And I'm just like, I remember when it was 2, it was 3. I was like, United, please, but can you just stop? Like, can you? I know we're not going to win the game here, bro. 4, 5. I said, these lot, bro.
But then again, bro, but this is how you get generational haters as well, man. Because when you say I've been talking, that 8-2 to United, bro. Oh my god. I remember school the next day. I said, I hate this club.
Yeah,
this is why I hate this
remember
club,
I would hate to be an Arsenal fan right now.
Hate this club,
I would hate to be an Arsenal
this
fan.
club.
Bro, that's the football banter, bro. That's what it is, fam. I remember the Liverpool. I see man holding up 7-Up cans to me, bro. They don't even drink it. They don't even drink it, fam.
Man.
Nah, man. Hey, man, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, yeah, football is such a crazy sport. Like, it's funny because, yeah, like you go, you support your team, you love your team. And then, yeah, man, like, it's so funny as well because, like, even us as football fans, when we're commentating, it's like, sometimes you're just going to put it all on the line. You're going to, like, just show chest for your team. And, bro, and you're vouching for them. You say, I know my players will. Yep. Bro, you are not in the dressing room. You have no influence. But you said,
hey, you know man, you're going to play Fortnite till 4 a.m.
Till 4 a.m. Oh, my God. Bro, and it's always the especially when you go to games, yeah, where it's like, it's that pre-match, like, you know, when it's like, especially when like there's been a lot of discussions and you've spoken about it, and then when you see when you enter the stadium and you're just like, bro, these guys, they better, fam, because what's on the line? What's on the line? Do you get me? So yeah, man, football is funny, man. Man said I could do everything right in my weekend. I could do like everything I set out to do, and then my team could just do the banter.
I had to free myself, man. I remember the years, where it's like my mood, my weekend, everything is completely distressed. You know, I can't allow this to continue. I can't allow this. Arsenal, the damage you've done to my life is enough. It's enough. Sometimes you have to take breaks, bro. You have to take breaks because this thing would drive me crazy,
bro. You're watching it and you're just like, fam, like, oh no, man, it's crazy. Like, I remember even this season. I remember that Tottenham match, bro, and I remember I remember watching it, and like you're there, bro, and it's funny because obviously you're with the fans, etc., bro, and we're just like, bro, what are wrong with these man? Like, bruv, like, why are they doing this? Like, do you get me? Like, you're just like, why are they doing this, bro? And I think that's why, yeah, like, final point I'm making it, but I think that's why when like football fans, I think that's why we take so much offense when it looks like a player doesn't care, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, when it looks like a player just doesn't care, bro, or they're not trying, bro. Like, do you get me? I feel that's why football fans, they take so much offense to it. Like, do you get me? Because people are investing their time, people are investing their money, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, man. And bro, like, I think the biggest insult is like you go support your team, you go watch your team, bro, and it looks like these men are not even trying, or it looks like they're not even committed, or whatever the case may be, man. Do you get me? And you've got to hold that in And at least if there's a player you've been supporting and you know he's trying, at least you can say, well, I decided to back this player. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But then when it's even like, do you get me? You've been supporting someone and they're not even trying. And then, bro, there's so much aspects to it. We'll be here all day, bro.
Yeah,
there's also when you love a player, bro, and then they leave. That's the other.
I've experienced that one as well.
Bro, that one hurts, bro. I remember when Ronaldo, you carry on, he's getting linked to Madrid. I'm saying it's not gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen, bro, but I have to tell myself, it's not gonna happen, bro. Do you get me? And then I'm sure, like, probably it was a similar thing with like you and Fabregas, like, do you get me? Yeah, man. It's just, and then obviously,
that whole era of when all these teams are just taking our best players every other year. Let me not get into it, man. You're releasing trauma.
Hey,
you're
crazy
releasing
thing.
trauma, man. But yeah, we love it though. We love it. That's why we're here.
Hey, man.
2 hours 45
for
later,
real, bro. Hey, your team will just mash you up, and then you'll be right back. You'll be right back supporting. So yeah, this thing we call football. What a great sport.
Crazy. For real. But now, Major, man, thank you for another great stream. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's still here, who's gonna watch this later. I'm gonna let Major wrap up with his words, but yeah, just from my point, we really appreciate you, man. Love the feedback from people that have told me personally about, I guess, how they're finding it. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, man, as always, the invitation is always out there too for anyone who is confident, comfortable, wants to get on, wants to debate us, wants to give their opinions. Please do come through, man. We'd love to have different people on and like hear different perspectives that we might not always speak about ourselves. So yeah, man. So yeah, thank you very much. And if you enjoyed the stream, then please don't forget to leave a like. It really does help a lot. The algorithm. And thank you to everyone who comments, who gets engaged, who engages, and yeah, man, it just gives us a lot of things to bounce off, and yeah, it really does help us out a lot, man. So yeah, Major, I'm gonna let you wrap it up and I'm gonna end it there. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, man. I just want to echo everything Ace said. Like, yeah, we really appreciate all of the support. And yeah, like I always say, whoever's watched this stream for 30 seconds, 1 minute, half an hour, 1 hour, the whole stream, we really appreciate it. Whoever's liked, shared, and subscribed, whoever's engaged, whoever's commented, whoever's just supported the stream, we really appreciate it. And yeah, get in contact with us if you would like to feature. If you've got questions, let us know. Send us a message. If you even just like have ideas as regards to how you think we can improve, yeah, man, like we're always receptive to like feedback. Let us know. Just yeah. And of course, follow us on the socials. And yeah, TikTok, like everything, like we're on all of them. And yeah, like I hope everyone has a great weekend. And of course, United fans, hopefully we can get the win. Do you get me? I don't care about my ops, but yeah, but outside of football, to my, to the people that support rival teams, I hope your actual weekend is great. Do you get me? Outside of football, but yeah, as regards to your teams, yeah, just United fans, just hope you can have a good weekend. But yeah, man, it's been a good stream. I think this has been a long one. Like, it's been a while we've done one like this, but it's been good, man. Like, it's been good. Like, even bro, I'm just even these comments about the I didn't go back the next day. Called in sick, and I think that's what Ace was saying, man. Like, it's always been like, even though obviously, like we've just got started like a few months ago, but I think the engagement, like since we started, has been really good, and like all of your comments, like you interacting, like it's helped a lot. So really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate all of the support.
For real, man. So yeah, thank you, everyone. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the reaction episode, man. There's gonna be a lot to talk about. So boy, we'll be there. Make sure you're there too. So thanks everyone, man. See you guys later.